Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Um, Happy Halloween! Or if you're watching the VOD on a day other than Halloween, Happy Other Day. Ooh, spooky other days. Ooh. Ooh, it's the most scariest thing. The future days. Also, check your kids' candies. It might be laced with Maria, and nobody wants that. Just throw that shit out. I'm including a hating on Maria joke in my opening bit here. The drug dealers are hiding bits of Maria in your kids' candy. It's not safe. Individually wrapped candy only. But yes, welcome to the stream. It is Halloween. I guess technically. I mean, I don't know why I say it like that. I don't know why I say I guess technically, because it's just either it is or it isn't. So happy Halloween. I hope you had a great Halloween. I will always say that Halloween happening in the middle of a week like this is a travesty. I think I think it's way easier on everyone involved, both from the age of 1 to 100. Everyone would enjoy it if we moved it to like the final Saturday of the month instead. Move that fucking holiday. It's not even a holiday. Move that fucking day. I mean, I've yet to hear an argument otherwise. You put it on a weekend, easier for kids to have a nice day. Probably easier for families if they take their kids. You then, I think it's just if you're of the kind to go to a party, makes it more easier. I mean, I guess the argument then is like the party things. Like I just know those were happening like on Saturday and stuff, right? Like what I did or what others would do. You just do it the weekend before, but like, still, that's no fun. That's no fun. No fun. And I am the foremost judge on what is and isn't fun, honestly. So, speaking of fun, do you know what is fun? The episode 6 finale plus probably the episode 7 start, unless this tea party and question mark section, unless those take forever tonight, then the end of episode 6 and the start of episode 7 is super fun. On Halloween, the last day of the month, I'm finishing episode 6 to stay on track for an episode every month to finish before the end of the year. Staying true to what I had said. Honestly, it's inspirational. I'm a true patriot. I don't know where I'm going with this. Everyone looks up to me and says, man, that guy's actually going to do it. When in fact, no one's saying that. No one is thinking that. So it is Tuesday. It is a Tuesday night stream. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to say before getting in here on this tea party. Completely not sure what's gonna happen in these tea parties. Also, Mandela effect. I always thought these was supposed to be 3 question marks here. Could have sworn that it was always 3 question marks. Although I'm sure immediately someone could be like, no, it was always 4, you're dumb. I always just remember it being 3. So, Mandela effect for sure here in Umineko. Don't know what's gonna be contained here in the tea party section or the question mark section. the ending of the episode 6 proper was interesting. From what I actually rewatched it because I wanted to, right before going live here, I wanted to see exactly how that shook out. I remembered most of how that kind of went out. Very romantic, Battler, and I can only assume the young Beato channeling the swagger and attitude of old, crusty, 1,000-year-old Beatrice. I say that as a joke. I don't really mean she's crusty. But channeling, from what I can tell, I think she, because there was moments where she became, like, almost reverted back to herself when I think she was like, this is I'm a little more shaky about, but like when she like was whispering something to Battler maybe, or she had like a moment of vulnerability and then she snapped back. Whatever was happening. Romantic, each other, Battler, as if she was doing pottery. That one scene in that one movie. Ghost? I don't know what it's called. I just know it as a reference. Battler over her shoulders, also holding the gun from the image. Shoots at Erica and says something along the lines of like, even, now this is testing my memory, I just watched it right before, like I said, before coming live. Even if we counted you would only be the 17th person, or something like that. Because Erica right before that said, I'm the 18th person on the island. And then bang, bang, they shot, and then it kind of just did the ending credits. So I think it was supposed to be just slightly vague. It kind of be like, oh, what's going to happen in the tea party section? Also, on top of that, I've been saying it for the last several streams. Have no idea then what that leaves us for episode 7 and 8. What they're going to do. But obviously that's nothing new. It's always a surprise here in Umineko. Also, hello. Welcome. How are you? Trying to think what else is there to say or set up here. I don't think there's much. Good but tired? Honestly, same. Honestly, same. Well, it's generally kind of cheating. I'm, like, always tired. I should probably, at some point, I should probably have the state of tiredness of my physical body looked into by a professional at some point, but also this is gonna make me sound weird. I kind of, in a weird twisted way, I think when I feel tired, then I know that how do I put this? If I feel tired, physically tired, then I know I'm feeling something, you know? Does that sound weird? I don't know how else to put it. I always said, like, oh, you know, I think about, like, how, like, you know, I work a normal job and then I come on night, you know, nights and then do the streams or whatever. And it's like, I you know, I only know how to kind of feel like I feel if I'm not burning the candle on both ends, then I'm not doing enough things, you know? Something along those lines. A mess of words. Also, thank you so much for the follow. I don't know how to put it, though. I truly don't know how to put it. But can't really relate. That's fair. Like I said, it's probably a weird way of looking at life. In some sense. Sleeping and lazing around is the best. I agree. Despite my body not doing it well, I enjoy sleep. I don't get enough sleep, probably. Generally on weeknights. The standard for me is probably about 5.5 hours. Generally, I would say. And then even then, like, anytime I've measured, like, the actual quality of my sleep, it's not even a good 5.5 hours, apparently, so. Whatever. It is what it is. Honestly, it is what it is. But you're not here for that. You're here for Spooky Umineko. Spooky. Last day of October. I held true. I'm It's honestly, it's inspirational. All right. Already, I'm being hit with a wave of energy from the two of these two demons. I need them to chill the fuck out. They're coming in with a strong energy that I was not prepared for. Oh my god, my phone. I was trying to just put it up on the desk and then I almost dropped it. Alright, here we go. Then let the pair exchange their rings. Beato took Battler's hand. Oh, is that alright? Here we go. Oh, they're gonna have a little thing now. Fuck Erica and her wedding dress. Or should I say, don't fuck Erica? I just made the dumbest face after I said that. Just imagine me making the dumbest face when I made that joke. Honestly, a non-joke. Beato took Battler's hand and put a ring with the seal of the one-winged eagle on his finger. Are you sure? You already are the territory lord. So, this ring belongs to you, Battler-san. I guess what I'm interested in with this... Sorry, I'm trying to, like, get a piece of food out of my teeth as well while I'm talking. I'm the worst. I guess I need to know, I'm so curious, what bad thing transpires between now and I guess the end of the question mark thing to then have to do another round of this? What causes them to make them have to do an episode 7? And then in turn episode 8, right? Honestly, I would respect the hell out of Umineko if this is like the resolving of any conflict. Like this is it. And then episodes 7 and 8 are like the fun episodes. The beach episodes. If you know, in the filler episodes, if you're, you know, of anime speak. It's just fun. It's just all the characters having fun for 2 episodes. No conflict, no problems. You already are the territory lord, so this ring belongs to you, Battler-san. Yeah, just put that ring with the thorns on it. That you twist a little diamond head or whatever. You're really sure? At this rate? Oh. Getting antsy. At this rate, the world you created and the tale. Yes. I created this tale because I wish to be with you. That means the purpose of this world has been fulfilled. So, from now on, I want you to write it. The continuing tale of you and me. Or is doing it like that too awkward for you? Cackle. Cackle. I'm just pushing the tiresome task of territory lord onto you anyway. It's much easier being the wife, where you only have to brag. I just need to play around and wait for you to write a new tale. And, for each new tale you write, I'll play any part you need. Be it an evil witch, or a rival. A lover, or a wife. I don't know how I don't know how I'm liking the split. I don't even want to call it necessarily personality thing going on, but the switching of like, oh, the innocent Beato and then the battle-hardened Beato. I don't know about that one. My tales are pretty intense. You'll be busy from dawn until dusk. That's definitely, that's sexual innuendo. That has to have been. My tales are pretty intense. You'll be busy from dawn until dusk. And I will not hear otherwise. It's trying to remind me that she's not the Beatrice, you know. Sure, fair. Indeed, bring it on. Beato's hand relinquished the ring of the territory lord. Oh, look at this! Look at how... Get out of here. Hand in hand. Beato. Battler, my boy. Beato's hand relinquished the ring of the territory lord. From Battler, she received a silver ring with a crest that could only be worn by the wife of the territory lord. They exchanged their rings, and their wedding was complete. Then, the pair turned around, faced the packed crowd of guests, and raised their rings high. A thunderous applause rang out for them. Cheers to the new happy couple, or whatever. As a memorial to this night's events, the great territory lord will now recognize the accomplishments of certain people. Wait, they're giving out awards? What? Huh? Let those called come forward. At Battler's nod, Beato read the name of the first guest to be recognized. Canon! Of course, Canon, honestly. Oh, dude, that was something I wanted to bring up. Just because it was something that lingered from Saturday's stream. Is that I don't know, now seeing his name, maybe it's already gonna be done here. But like, remember when Canon took his place in that room? And then there was the one line where Battler's like, I won't forget this and I'll be sure to repay. Like, I thought that was gonna be like a big important thing, like in a future episode somehow or something. There's gonna be a moment. I thought at the time, I was like, there's gotta be a moment where Battler's gonna do something really cool for Canon. But now maybe it just might be this dumb, like, award. There's a chance. There's a chance that's it. Canon! Come forward. I sacrificed myself in eternal damnation, and all I got was this award. Basically. This award and this t-shirt. Canon-kun. A girl coat pushed her way through the crowd, took off her mask, and yelled. A cloud of gold butterflies gathered before Battler and Beato, and took the form of Canon, kneeling in front of these two nobles. Canon had already died and vanished. However, all the dead revive in the Golden Land. Canon, right here. When my husband was locked up and in danger, she was really quick to throw out my husband. She was really quick to throw that. She wanted to throw out my husband so quick. She was like, damn, I'm going to use that the first opportunity I can. In danger, you rescued him and displayed your capability for self-sacrifice by choosing to remain in that eternal prison in his place. Such devotion is deserving of an award. Therefore, we will allow for your resurrection, as well as your continued service. Yes, ma'am. I am honored and delighted. Kanekun. Yoshia-kun. Jessica is sounding a lot like me. Using not just... She's just like me, how I you know, I'll constantly... not names-wise necessarily, but... say a word 2 different ways and just keep switching for the hell of it. She needs to settle on one name. Either continue to call him Canon or call him Yoshia, okay? Alright, Jessica? You can make one judgment. Jessica raced forward and landed sobbing in Canon's chest. Canon patted her head gently and held her. You won't be serving as furniture. You'll be serving as a human. Do you understand what that means? Yes. After glancing at Jessica sobbing, he looked at Battler again and nodded forcefully. Now for the next pair. Yashumiya George and Shannon! Come forward! Yes. George and Shannon were the next to be called. Perhaps they had already readied themselves. They walked forward boldly and kneeled. Yashumiya George, right here. Shannon, right here. You two withstood Zephyr and Furfur's trials until the very end. That was a weird pop. Your great achievements in affection, determination, nobility were exemplary and deserving of an award. Therefore, your marriage certificate has been issued with the Territory Lord's signature. We are honored and delighted. No one will be allowed to object to the certificate, not even your crazy mother. Let the families of those recognized bless their union with all their hearts. And so, now that there's nothing stopping these two, let's all throw rice at them and celebrate. Hey, congrats you two. Thanks, Battler. When the Territory Lord clapped his hands in celebration, it spread throughout the entire cathedral. Then, a group of goats in the front line of the crowd took their masks off one by one. Listen up, okay? I'll never forgive you if you make too much salty miso soup. And George is getting a little overweight, so go easy on the sugar. Yeah, I was thinking it's either some kind of like Japanese phrasing or like idea. Don't feed my boy too much salty miso soup. George, when a man gets married, he's got to treasure his wife even more than his parents. No matter what your mother says, you make sure you protect Shannon-chan. Yes, of course. George-san. Anyway, George needs at least 7 hours of sleep. Unlike Austin, who only gets about 8.5 or 5.5. I can't even know numbers. 5.5 max. I'll never forgive you if you let him stay up late. And don't forget that washing his back and cleaning his ears are also wife's responsibilities. Alright, what the fuck? He's a grown-ass man. He can wash behind his ears by himself. Come on now. Come on now. Is that true? What have I done?
仕事内容は家による。
A wife's job can vary depending on the family.
ルドルフさん、妻を大事にしてる？
Rudolph-san, have you been treasuring your wife?
してるじゃねえか。
Not enough, according to me. Of course.
なんでそこ疑うんだよ。
Why would you doubt that?
お幸せにね、ご両人。
Find happiness, you two.
結婚はゴールじゃないわ。
Marriage isn't a goal.
むしろスタートよ。
It's just the starting line, okay? That's rich coming from you, Rosa. That's rich coming from you, Rosa. You know what should be your goal? Stop beating your child. Stop beating your child. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Congratulations, congratulations. Oh, fucking Sakataru. Alright, Uru, congratulations. Who invited him to the wedding? Alright.
負けてられないですね。
Let's just let anyone in here. I'm feeling especially hateful today, apparently. We mustn't lose either. Yeah, no way we're losing. Damn it! All the Ishirimiya family, all the servants, and all the spirits and demons in attendance celebrated the honorees with an even greater applause.
これにて黄金の魔女によって紡がれる物語は幕を閉じる。
And so, the curtain closes on the tale woven by the Golden Witch.
最後は気分にて物語を結ぶのが良いだろう。
Perhaps we should finish this tale with the epitaph.
以下は黄金の魔女の碑文より黄金鏡の書。
The following is the passage of the Golden Land from the epitaph of the Golden Witch.
魔女は賢者をたたえ、4つの宝を与えるだろう。
The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures.
一つは黄金鏡のすべての黄金。
One shall be all the gold from the Golden Land.
一つはすべての死者の魂を蘇らせ。
One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls.
一つは失った愛すらも蘇らせ。
One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost.
一つは魔女を永遠に眠りにつかせよ。
One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time.
安らかに眠れ。我が最愛の魔女、ベアトリーチェ。
Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch, Beatrice. Beatrice. Of course. These people. Alright, she said something, but there was just a bunch of dots on my screen, so just gonna advance that. Alright, so this means Beato was satisfied and put to sleep. Honestly, it's kind of, I don't know if I've pointed this out before, but I've shit upon Angie and her position and her character and what she's positioned as here in this episode, and I constantly like shit talked and was like, oh, Angie relegated to this whole thing. Maybe it's funny that Angie, as far as I understand, is supposed to kind of almost represent potentially the reader, which in this case is me. It's like I'm am I only mad at Angie because it's like I'm looking in a mirror? I'm looking at myself. I'm the one reading along, being frustrated about certain things, yelling, screaming my head off every time Sakataru shows up on screen. It's like that philosophy of like, you're only mad at her because it's like you're staring at a reflection. You see yourself. Anyway,
そう解釈するのが妥当であろう。
That interpretation is probably appropriate.
それで
And
ゲームはお開きになったからお兄ちゃんは解放されるんでしょ？
now that the game's over, Oni-chan will be released, right?
お兄ちゃんはどうなるの？
What'll he do next?
さてどうなるやら。
Who knows?
そのかけらの書物はそこまでの物語しか記しておらぬようだ。
The book of this fragment tells us no more of the story. Man, I really needed Featherine here to just kind of look at the screen and be like, who knows? But there's at least two more episodes to go.
お兄ちゃんがどうなるか
Just completely shattered the fourth wall.
分からずじまいじゃない。
I'm mad at Angie because she didn't get the mystery yet. I mean, hey, but then we start going down the path of that's me, right? So like, then I'm just, yeah, exactly. I'm mad that I'm Angie. Despite all my protests of me claiming to be Battler, I'm not. I'm Angie. I should have dressed up as Angie instead of Battler. Damn. So, in the end, we don't even get to see what comes next for him. Next Halloween. Next Halloween, I'll dress up as Angie. Nothing comes next for him. In the end, Oni-chan and the others never came back. They reached the Golden Land and had a great time together there. Even if the tale tells us that, the truth is that everyone died in that huge accident.
でもいろいろと興味深いことが知れたわ。
Still, we've learned a lot of very interesting things.
あの島はやっぱりとんでもない幻想の島なのね。
It seems that island really was a crazy island of illusions.
まったくだ。
Indeed.
そしてそなたの朗読はとても素晴らしいものだった。
And your reading was truly wonderful.
なんだかぶっ通して6時間くらい映画を見せられたような疲労感だわ。
I feel worn out, like watching a 6-hour movie all at once. Oh, Angie. Let me tell you. Oh, God, Angie's so relatable all of a sudden. Angie, let me tell you. I've been doing almost, I think it's close to like 150 hours on this series now. Where I just hit live on OBS and I'm reading a bunch. Trying to solve mysteries. Failing spectacularly.
疲れた。
I'm in the same boat, Angie. Alright? It's almost been a whole year. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
後ろ宮エンジェ、
Ishiromiya Angie.
本当にご苦労だった。
You truly have worked hard.
我が退屈はそなたの朗読によって癒された。
Your reading has soothed my boredom.
このフェザリーヌ、数えることも忘れて久しい年月ぶりに心よりそなたに感謝するぞ。
I mean, I'm not pointing out anything revolutionary here, and I think we've probably even said it previous stream. But the fact that... Oh.
感謝する
Well,
な
no,
ら
no, 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 stop, stop, stop. I hit the
私に
button
も
on
何か助言
accident.
してほしいわね。
I'm getting to a point. I hit a button on accident. I'm sorry. The fact that I am, in this instance, me streaming this, I am the Miko. Miko? Miko? I'm Miko. I'm Angie. I know. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And then Featherine here, this is everyone else watching. Because I don't know what the makeup is, but I'm pretty sure at least 95% of the people that watch me play this, at least 95%, have already know what happens in Umineko and already knows everything. So everyone else is this character. And so her being like, her saying you've truly worked hard and you've you've satisfied, you've soothed my boredom. I'm going to take it as a compliment. I'm going to take it as this is chat telling this to me. This is what's giving me strength to go into these streams. Stream after stream of Umineko. I'm doing my best reading. I might hit enter on accident a couple times and advance the dialogue when I don't mean to. But I'm trying, alright? Alright, where did I think I didn't read this part. I, Featherine, am more grateful to you than I have been for so many years that I cannot remember. If you're grateful, why can't I have some kind of award too? Oh, Angie, what's a participation award?
何が良いか
What would be good?
少し時間をもら
Give me some time.
おう。考える。
Oh, you know what award would be nice for Angie? For her to not be stuck in this weird realm, and she gets to be an actual character in episode 7? I will think. Feathering sat down in a rocking chair and rocked it, apparently trying to think of something.
後ろ宮エンジェ、
Ishiromiya Angie?
本当にご苦労だった。
You really have worked hard.
よくぞ最後まで朗読に付き合ってくれた。
You have done well to keep reading for me until the end.
これにて我が巫女の任をと
With this, your responsibilities as my Miko are lifted. Just anything other than burger ending.
そなたは元の世界に戻り、そなたに与えられた運命を再開するがいい。
You may return to your original world and be reunited with the fate you have been given.
やれやれ。
Sheesh.
とんだ寄り道だったって感じね。
It feels like this was one hell of a side trip.
すねるな。
Do not pout.
褒美は今考えている。
I'm thinking of a reward now.
そうだな。
Reward.
たまには少し。
Reward. Yes, that's something I haven't done much.
いや、もう随分とやっていない。
Or rather, at all, for quite some time. She's just gonna turn into an impossible burger. Instead of like an actual red meat burger, she's gonna be like a fake veggie burger. That's gotta be a little better.
壺のインクも干からびて炭になっていそうであるな。
I imagine the ink from the bottle is dried up by now. One of those portobello mushroom burgers. Mushroom caps. Is that what they're called? Even after the tale ended, Angie and Hachicho's debate over it continued for quite some time. It had been very serious and fiery. Angie had acknowledged that this tale was no crazy literary work, but a new message bottle, which had drifted here once more from the Rokenjima 12 years previous, to tell her of one truth. And, seeing as though she had found her own interpretation of the truth she thought the tale was trying to tell. Of course, that was only one truth. And it did not mean an end to her journey. However, maybe it can be viewed this way. It wasn't sufficient to fill the 12-year gap in her heart. However, at that moment, just enjoying the feeling along with the bitter coffee Hachicho had made was enough.
ありがとう。最後まで読んでくれて。
Thank you for reading until the end.
そしてあなたの考えと感想をありがとう。
And thank you for your thoughts and opinions.
きっと一番最初の無限の魔女も喜んでいると思います。
I'm sure the very first Endless Witch is happy.
なんだ、素直にそういうことも言えるじゃない。
Wow, so you can bring yourself to say stuff like that?
最初からそういう口調で喋ってれば、もっとファンも増えるんじゃない？
If you just talk like that from the beginning, you'd have tons more fans.
あなたという素晴らしい読者を称えているだけです。
I'm merely praising the wonderful reader that you most certainly are.
物言わぬ、考えることもできぬ豚どもに読ませるくらいならば。
I just wanted to say that spending the time I have left in my life writing for you alone.
あなた一人のために原稿を記す方が、私に与えられた寿命という時間をよほど有意義に費やせると言いたいだけ。
Was much more productive than writing for those pigs who do not talk and cannot think would have been. Wait, was much more productive than writing for those pigs who do not talk and cannot think would have been. Certainly she's not calling me a pig. Certainly. Certainly. Giggle.
だから、そういうことを言わなきゃいいのに。
That's just the kind of thing you'd be better off not saying.
ま、一応は褒められたと思っておくわ。
Well, I'll take it as a compliment.
さて。
Okay. I get the feeling that I've spent a really, really long time here. It feels as though I've spent a major fraction of my life here. Though it should feel uncomfortable sitting here on a sofa in someone else's house. For some strange reason, it feels as familiar as my own home. However, the clock says it's only been about 2 or 3 hours since I met her. My sense of time feels very strange.
お連れの方は遅いですね。
Your friend seems to be taking his time.
長電話かしら。
It must be a long phone call.
男のくせに気持ち悪いやつ。
It's creepy for a guy to talk that long on the phone. He said he was going to make a scheduled report to Okanogi-san, didn't he? Even though he was told that he could use a phone here, he declined and went to look for a public phone somewhere. Something about how he didn't want to risk being bugged. He's a moron, so I'll let him do what he wants.
公衆電話って遠いんですか？
Is the nearest public phone far?
通りに出てずっと下っていけば角のお店にありますよ。
If you go out onto the street, there's a store in the corner a short ways down.
これでおいとまします。
Then I'll be on my way.
これ、洋館代にでも。
You can use this to pay for food or whatever.
そのお金をあなたに払ったら
If I let you keep that money,
また来て私の新しい原稿を読んで感想を聞かせてくれますか？
will you come again, read my next manuscript, and tell me your opinions? God, I hope Angie says no to this. She just starts heading out the door. No.
札束払ってまで私みたいな可愛くない女に原稿読んでほしいんですか？
You're willing to pay rolls of money to get an uncute girl like me to read your manuscript?
いいえ。
Uncute? Angie, you're selling yourself short. Come on now. Come on now. No.
あなたは本当に良い、よく考える読者だった。
You really were a good, clear-thinking reader.
あなたのような人を探すために私たちは物語を紡ぎ世に放っているのです。
We create these tales and throw them out into the world in search of people like you.
褒めすぎだわ。
You praise me too much.
私は読書に感情移入しすぎるタイプなだけよ。
I just take books a little too seriously.
この短くない時間を割いてくれたお礼に
As thanks for the considerable time you have given me,
いつかきっとあなたの物語を書きましょう。
I will someday write your tale.
またあんたの偽書に私が登場するの？
Am I going to appear in one of your forgeries again?
今度はマシな殺し方を頼むわ。
Hope you kill me in a slightly better way this time.
あなたは奇跡はお好き？
Do you like miracles?
ご都合主義？
You mean like a Deus Ex Machina plot development?
昔は嫌いだったけど最近は大歓迎よ。
I used to hate them, but recently I've become a big fan.
ただ口が肥えてるんでビルから飛び降りて無傷なくらいじゃもう奇跡には入れてないけど。
Still, I've become a bit of a picky eater, and simply falling from a skyscraper and ending up unharmed doesn't quite qualify as a miracle to me anymore. I mean, I'll say, for the longest of time, when I was young, until I heard someone say it out loud, there was a long stretch of time when I was a kid, and just would always read it as Deus Ex I think I said Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex, whatever.
ではそんなあなたが奇跡に思える物語をやがていつか
Then perhaps one day, I'll write a tale that you'll consider a miracle. I really hope there aren't any kids who are thinking of knocking on my door for candy. I feel like I hear kids. I feel like I'm in the presence of like kids within like several meters of me. Normally where I stream, I can kind of feel and sense when there's people walking up like the little stairs to get to my little apartment area. If I start to feel that, gonna have to start yelling at kids. If any kids come and knock on my door, instead of candy, I'll say I don't have candy, but I can... Okay, I was gonna say invite them in, but with kids, it's probably not a good thing to say. I was gonna say I could read them a paragraph of Umineko. But honestly, I'm not inviting kids to my apartment. Then perhaps someday I shall write a tale consider a miracle. Kids, do you know who else loves candy?
突然押しかけてひどいことばっかり言ってすみませんでした。
Maria. Yeah, a character named Maria. And guess what her problem is? Her mom abuses her. Abuses? That's how I would start my Umineko lesson to the kids. I'm really sorry for barging in all of a sudden saying all kinds of mean things.
いいえ、有意義な対談でしたよ。
No, it was a worthwhile conversation.
編集局長さんにまたあなたとの対談をセッティングしてもらおうかしら。
I wonder if my head editor will set up another meeting between the two of us.
その機会がまたあるならね。
Sure, there's another chance for one.
See you again. Have a nice day.
Yeah, let's go back to that scene. I'll put the little headphones on them. See you again. Have a nice day.
ええ、またいつか
Yes, it may happen again sometime.
あなたの真実にたどり着けますように。
I pray that you find your truth.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
もしあなたの真実にたどり着けたなら、
If you ever do reach a truth of your own,
あなたの真実もいつか物語にしてみてください。
please try making that a tale as well someday.
あんたらの魔女仲間になれと？
You want me to become one of your witches?
どうかしら。
I wonder.
文字書くの苦手だし、
I'm bad at writing.
良き読者が良き執筆者とは限らないわよ。
A good reader isn't necessarily a good writer, you know.
いやいや、全く。
Ah, quite true.
私も人の本は全く読めませんし。
I myself can never read anything written by anyone else.
やれや
Sheesh.
れ。じゃあ、これで。
And I'm off. Now, where the
あ
hell
な
is
たとはこれ
Amoxa?
で二度と会わないだろうけれど、
After this, I'll probably never see you again.
いつかどこかで別のあなたにまた会える幸運を祈っています。
But I pray I'll be fortunate enough to meet another you someday, somewhere.
最後に一つだけ聞いてもいい？
Can I ask one last question?
どうぞ。
Go ahead.
物語の中に登場したフェザリーヌって魔女、
That featherine witch who appeared within the tale.
あれはあんたよね。
That's you, right? She's asking her, is that a self-insert?
語るのもおこがましいですが、そのつもりです。
It may be presumptuous to say it, but that was my intention.
こういう質問もおかしいんだけど、その
This might be a strange question, but
あんたがフェザリーヌなの？
are you feathering?
フェザリーヌがあんたなの？
Or is feathering you?
さて、
Well now,
何の話やら。
what might you be talking about? That mysterious woman was mysterious to the last. And so, the day of which I had no memories ended. Memories! And on the following day, I would take a boat to Nishima. I'll probably never meet her again. However, that just means that I won't meet her, so some other me might meet her somewhere down the road. Just as I have reached several truths, they must also want to reach the truth. So long, Feathering. If you ever write a decent story, please call me again. If I'm free, I might drop by. New scene? A phone? Oh, Amoxa. Oh my god, is this phone thing gonna be like a major plot thing? He's gonna pick up who is he talking to? He's gonna hang up the phone on the other end of the line. Erica. Bernie. The mystery person who put a card of Autumn underneath fucking Natsui's thing. Wardrobe or whatever the fuck. They're back. No problem.
こんな豪勢なエスコートは初めてですぜ。
It's the most luxurious escort job I've had yet.
お好みの旦那も招待したいくらいだ。
I'd almost like to invite you along, sir.
遠慮する。
I'll take a pass on that.
もう俺は年だ。
You know how old I am.
飛んだり跳ねたりは卒業したぜ。
I'm done running around all over the place. The person on the other end of the line was Okonogi. Okonogi was also a man who tended to move from place to place, so it hadn't been easy to catch him even on the phone.
こっちはクールな旅をしてますんで、 今んところ飛んだり跳ねたりの必要はありません。
Our trip's been pretty cool, and right now, there's no need to run around.
スマデラカスミが死に物狂いで探している。
Sumidera Kasumi is searching for you like mad.
情報屋の話じゃ、すでに六軒島への足まで用意させてるらしい。
According to our informants, she's already gotten a ride to Rokenjima.
鉢合わせするぜ。
You'll bump into her there.
予定通りですかね。
So, just as planned.
せいぜい5、6人前後のグループだろう。
There'll likely be just 5 or 6 people at most.
武装もおそらく拳銃程度。
And they'll probably be armed with nothing more than handguns.
お前の敵じゃない。
They're no match for you.
好きに暴れろ。
Feel free to run wild.
だが確実に殺
But make sure you kill them.
せ。お前好みのおもちゃは用意できたか。
Were you able to acquire one of your favorite toys?
もちろん。
Of course.
旦那もよくこんなもんが国内で手配できるもんだ。
I'm surprised you managed to arrange for it in this country. Behind Amakusa was a rental car that they'd borrowed under a false name, inside of which was now a black golf bag.
スマデラ本家も了承済みだが、終わったらとっとと日本を離れろ。
The Sumidera head family has already given the okay, but make sure you get out of Japan as soon as you're done.
今度は成田でカップ麺を箱で買うのを忘れるんじゃねえぜ。
Don't forget to buy your cup ramen by the box in Narita before your flight out. Wait, so am I reading this correctly? Is this the Sumidera head family has offered like a has put out the hit for the lady we know? Like they're wanting him to offer? Said something on Kasumi's profile. Let me check. Let me see if it's still there. Where is she? Where are you? Is she even in here still? She might not be in here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh fuck. There's several factions inside the family. Oh, okay. That would make sense then. Interesting though. Interesting little wrinkle.
今度は気をつけますって。
I'll take care of this time.
ちょろい仕事です。
It's an easy job.
あと、例の件も分かってるよな。
Also, you do understand about that, right?
例の件。
That?
はて、何のことやら。
Well, I'm not sure what you mean.
とぼけやがって。
Playing dumb, are we?
まあいいさ。
Well, that's okay.
お前はなんだかんだ言って、昔から俺の期待を裏切らない男さ。
Despite how you talk, you've never betrayed my expectations in the past.
お前さえ要領が良けりゃ、手を汚さずに済
If you're clever about it, you won't even have to get your hands dirty.
む。いくらでもやりようがあるさ。
There should be plenty of ways to handle it.
何の話か分かりかねますぜ。
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
エンジェちゃんもかわいそうな子なのは分かってんだ。
I realize that Angie-chan is a child to be pitied.
ならそうと、真相の令状らしく振る舞ってくれりゃいいんだが、
If only she could have stayed true to that and acted the part of a secluded young lady.
エヴァさん亡き後、俺たちは結束していくことで合意してんだ。
When we decided to join forces after Eva-san's death, we reached an agreement.
みこしは大事だが、少々よろしくない。
This little portable shrine of ours is important, but she's also a liability.
世界平和のためにもな。
This is for the sake of world peace as well, okay?
流れ次第ってことですぜ。
So, watch and see how it goes.
スマデラの黒服がマシな銃の撃ち方をしてくれりゃいいんだが。
I hope those Sumidera black suits know how to shoot a gun right. I mean, now it's clear why he didn't want to use he wanted a public phone away from them.
なんです旦那。
What is it, sir?
まさか、ほんの数日の逃避行で、
Don't tell me that after a few days on the run.
エンジェちゃんとできちまったわけじゃねえだろ。
You and Angie-chan have already hooked up.
あんな父くせえ小娘にご冗談を。
Me and that bratty little girl? Please.
いや俺は別にいいんだぜ。
Well, it's not like I care.
お前もようやく女にちょっかいを出すくらいには吹っ切れたってことじゃねえか。
Just means you finally managed to break free enough that you can take passes at girls, right?
世界の半分は女なんだぜ。
Half of the world is made up of women.
一人や二人でうじうじしてたら身が持たねえぜ。
You'll never last if just one or two of them make you freeze up.
おっと、噂すりゃなんとやらだ。
Oh, speak of the devil.
お嬢が来ました。
She's here.
そんじゃこれで。
Guess that's all for today.
新島の宿に着いたら連絡しますぜ。
I'll contact you after I reach our lodgings on Nijima.
それじゃ。
Later. Angie was walking down the street. Why'd she have to do that when I told her to wait for me to come back? If only she wasn't like this, she might have lived a long life. Oh boy. Oh boy.
ずいぶん長電話だったのね。
That was a pretty long call. Oh my god, dude, I'm ready for Angie. No, I'm putting in a mini theory right here. She knows. She's not dumb. She knows. She knows. She knows she's gonna kill Amakusa right here. Just out in the street, out in the open. That was a pretty long call.
待ち疲れたからおいとましてきたわ。
I was so tired of waiting that I left.
すみませんすみません。
Sorry about that.
お嬢はどうでした？
How was it for you, lady?
何か面白いことは分かりましたかい？
Did you learn anything interesting?
面白かった。
It was interesting.
収穫はそれだけよ。
I've harvested all I need. Episode 4 credits said Angie died in 1998. I know. I'm aware. Sometimes I'm just, sometimes, hey, I trust that Umineko could retcon. through sheer power. I believe in the power of retcon somehow. Major retcon. I gotta hold out hope, alright? It was interesting. I've harvested all I need.
そいつはクールだ。
Sounds cool. After Makusa opened the passenger side door, Angie got in the car. Makusa quickly went around to the driver's seat.
じゃあ港へ向かいます。
Then let's head to the harbor.
旦那の情報じゃスマドラ家が網を張ってるらしいですぜ。
According to the old man, Sumadare family set up a net.
それに引っかかるようなら、
Like how they slide into frame
そ
here.
の程度。
If we do get caught, then that's the measure of my luck.
引っかからないなら、六軒島は私を待ってるわ。
If we don't, then Rokujima is waiting for me.
任せましょう。運に。
Let's leave it all to luck.
うんか。
Luck, is it?
どうするか決めかねているとき、
When you can't decide what to do?
あるいはどうでもいいとき、
Or when it doesn't matter either way?
コイントスのように運命に身を任すのも悪いことじゃないわ。
It's not so bad to entrust your fate to a coin toss.
なら俺もそいつに任せてみますかね。
Then I guess I'll try leaving it to luck too.
嫌いじゃねえや、そういうの。
Gotta admit, kind of a fan of that thing. I'm a fan of that kind of thing. I mean,
ボディーガードが運任せとか言い出したわ。
great. My bodyguard just said he's gonna leave everything to luck.
最悪。
Wonderful.
旦那との電話のせいですっかりオチを読み損ねちまった。
I had to leave for that phone call, so I totally missed the clincher.
あの後どうなったんですかい？聞かせてくださいよ。
What happened after I left? Let's hear it.
いやよ。教えないわ。
No, I'm not telling.
そりゃ残念。
That's a shame. The car dashed through the hilly town. That car wouldn't return to Hachijo's house for all eternity. However, Angie didn't get sentimental about it. For now, she just wanted to silently consider the new message bottle that the current Endless Witch, Hachijo Toya, had given her. In the rearview mirror, the town where a witch lived faded off into the distance. However, that scene wasn't reflected in Angie's eyes. This was a fair bit longer than I thought it'd be. I was also pretty slow. I rambled at the beginning, honestly. I went especially slow. Let's not get ourselves, even for my standards. Even for my standards. I was making like Halloween jokes and stuff, you know? To the question marks. All right. I have a feeling this is going to set up. I have a feeling this should be, whatever happens, whatever's contained in here should be a big, I feel like, big setup for the next episode, huh? Lambda, where are you? Just having to say that felt like admitting defeat, and I didn't like it. Why is it that she's always so obnoxious and clingy when I don't need her, and then won't answer when I call her name? Where am I? Annoyed by the completely predictable ending, I left the cathedral. I planned on finding some terrace with a cool night's breeze to kill time on until the end of that farcical reception. Farcical. It's true that I tried to find somewhere desolate so that I wouldn't have to look at people. But this is a bit ridiculous. I, the Great Burn Castell, am lost? A miracle like that certainly wouldn't happen. Yes, miracles don't exist in this world. To create a miracle, you need an amount of time that can never be reached, a period that's no different from infinity. So, when something that appears to be a miracle happens in a shorter span of time than that, it is not a miracle, but the product of someone's design. In other words, the reason I'm walking down this corridor is because someone's design has forced me here. Who? Who would have pulled such a complicated prank on me? It looks like you're quite the shy one. Calling me out to a desolate place like this? Then, from the other end of the dark corridor, I heard a sound. They're rattling? Rattling chains? Patter. Patter, patter, patter. It sounded as though some small animal, like a dog or a cat, was walking at a quick pace. No miracle could cause a dog or cat to be in a place like this. Such a miracle will not be allowed. Since it isn't a miracle, that means I'm being guided in that direction. Very well. This might be some new theme to keep me entertained. If this is some new joke of Lambda's, I'll cover her whole body with honey using my tongue as a reward. What the fuck? I'll cover her whole body with honey using my tongue as a reward. Bernie is not beating the allegations, alright? And then I'll stick parasol chocolates into her eyes and tell her to never do it again. In the direction the noise had come from, it was not only dim, but shrouded in complete darkness. Oh, it's my favorite creepy music in Umineko. It goes... Boo, 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 boo. However, I could sense something in that darkness. Oh my god. Oh, the eyes. There. Oh, spooky Halloween stream. Spooky. Boo. There were two emerald green glints. Emerald green glints. Probably cat eyes. The eyes of a black cat that peered through the darkness. Are you the one who called me here? Oh my god. Please introduce a new character that's just like a furry. Or like a wolf man. Please. I would love it. Play this section to the kid. Yeah, I'll tell him it's spooky, it's Halloween, like. Ooh. Are you the one who called me here, or are you just the messenger? Oh, I'm so scared. When I looked at my feet, I saw red cat footprints leading towards those cat eyes. Oh my god, it's gonna be like Nega, like anti Sakataro. It's gonna be like his evil stepbrother, the evil form of Sakataro. I can't think of something clever. The marks were unsettling, as though the cat had run through a pool of blood. When my eyes, yeah, we technically already have a furry. True. When my eyes adjusted to the darkness, but I hate Sakataro, so that doesn't count. Then even with the lack of light, I was vaguely able to make out these red footprints. When my eyes adjusted to the darkness. They weren't actually glowing or anything, but they served perfectly well as a signpost leading me onwards. Patter, 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 patter. As though it was telling me to follow. The cat turned around and dashed off into the darkness. What is it? Something feels very strange. It's a feeling I haven't felt since I began calling myself the cruelest witch in the world. Can't quite remember what this feeling is. Still, for one as tired of boredom as me, it's surely more fun than this way. Fun this way. I follow the bloody footprints of the cat. Imagine being so bored, you're like, yeah, I'll just do whatever and follow this creepy thing. Anything to cure the boredom. I followed the bloody footprints of the cat, which would sometimes stop and look back at me, and walked on and on through the dark corridor. Forward, turn, head down what appeared to be stairs from time to time. And then, though I couldn't really tell because of the darkness, it went in through the crack of a door. Here? I pushed the door open slowly, but it was dark on the inside, just like the corridor. However, the air and the slight change in the echoes made by the footsteps told me that this was a room, not a corridor. The sounds of the cat's footsteps were gone. However, the bloody footprints remained. On the other side of some sort of wooden screen, under what looked like a small spotlight, there was that same black cat gobbling down some blood-stained pet food. I see. So, this is its reward for bringing me here.
Neko.
Cat?
お食事中悪いけれど。
Sorry to bother you during your meal,
そろそろあんたの主人を呼んでちょうだい。
but I'd like you to summon your master.
それともまさか、あんたが私を呼んだ本人ってわけじゃないわよね。
That is, unless you're actually the one who summoned me. Talking to it didn't cause it to turn around. Well, guess it is an animal eating its food. If I kick it away, it'll probably run off to its owner. Oh my god, she kicked it! Animal abuse! Jesus. When I did kick the cat, it sailed away like a stuffed animal, hit the wall, and fell to the ground. Lovely. Then, it vanished, melting into the darkness. What's with this cat? Is it just an illusion? Oh, it might just be an illusion. So, technically, PETA, not actual animal abuse. When I looked at its food plate, it was piled up with what appeared to be blood-drenched raw meat. It was as though someone had torn apart living flesh on the spot and potted up on there. Oh no, it's the Angie burger.
なんなの?
Uh-oh.
この趣味の悪い艦隊は。
Come on, what's with this creepy reception?
蹴るとはひどいことをする。
Oh, what is that voice? Oh god. That was a mean thing to do, kicking it. The instant I heard that voice, the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. Then, the surrounding area finally brightened. However, Brink still had already guessed where this was before it grew bright. Is she in the mansion? I mean, have we... Oh! No! No! No!
そなたであろうが。
No! Bernie got relegated to Angie role. That's the punishment. I was like, that voice sounds familiar. Okay, that was you, was it not?
その猫は
That cat?
肉を食らい選ぶ道もあることを学んだ猫よ。
A cat who has learned how to eat meat, and that can sometimes choose its own path.
久しぶりであるな。
It has been a long time.
あんたが教えなきゃ気づかずに済んだ道よ。
She looks happy to be here. It's a path I might never have had to know about if you hadn't told me.
肉の味を教えた化け物。
You're the monster who taught me the taste of flesh.
生き返ったのね。
So, you've come back to life.
フェザリーヌ・アウアウローラ。
Feathering Aurora.
アウグストゥス・アウローラである
Augustus Aurora.
と、そなたには何度教えても覚えぬな。
You never learn, no matter how often I tell you that.
よい、
Aurora. Very well.
それもまた懐かしい。
Even that brings back fond memories.
噂は聞き及んでいるぞ。
I have heard the rumors.
奇跡の魔女ベルンカステルを名乗り、あまり褒められぬかけら遊びをして回っているとな。
It seems you have taken the name Berncastel, Witch of Miracles, and have been playing a far from praiseworthy fragment game. A far from praiseworthy fragment game. Damn.
あんたの真似をしてるだけよ。
I'm just imitating you,
到底及びやしないけれ
though I could hardly match up to your level.
ど、もし私の噂がよからぬものならば、あんたはそれに100をかけるべきだわ。
If the rumors you've heard about me are bad, that applies 100-fold to you. Berncastel sat unreservedly in an antique chair, as though she was already familiar with with the place.
何を怯えているか。
What are you afraid of?
私はこれまでで最も長く過ごした巫女との再会を喜んでいるだけであろうが。
I'm merely celebrating my reunion with my longest-serving Miko so far.
使いの猫がそんなにも気に入らなかったか。
Did you really find my messenger cat so displeasing? Berncastel's manner seemed completely relaxed. However, Featherine admonished her, telling her not to be afraid. And, judging by the expression that had risen to Burn's face, Featherine had been right on the mark.
私に対する当てつけにも程があるわ。
Did you really have to make such blunt insinuations against me?
血の足跡を残しながら歩き、血まみれの肉を頬張る猫なんてね。
A cat?
骨にも程があるのよ。
A cat? Leaving behind bloody footprints and stuffing its face with blood-stained meat?
怯えるな。
Have no fear.
よく見よ。
Look closely.
血まみれの肉を頬張る猫などどこにいる？
Do you see any cat stuffing its face with meat?
そなたを迎えに行った褒美にビスケットの皿を与えただけではないか。
I just gave it a plate of biscuits as a reward for going to get you. It was as though soot covering the plate at her feet was blown away, even though there was no wind. There lay an adorable and perfectly normal cat dish of Halloween candies. Spooky! It's Halloween, guys. Except if you're watching again on VOD. If you're watching on VOD, just imagine it's Halloween, guys. There lay an adorable and perfectly normal cat dish with a pile of small biscuits on top of it. I love how this game only has so many, like, they're not gonna redo the screen, so like they use the candy pile as like a stand-in for like a biscuits for a cat. It's like, all right, sure, I'll accept it. She goes to... Berncastel didn't even hide her displeased grimace. Featherine shrugged and muttered, "You haven't changed, child of man," as she rocked her rocking chair.
相変わらず不愉快なやつだ。
God, I endeavor to be as pity as Featherine. As smug. I just want to be as smug as her. I see her as unpleasant as ever,
でもね、今は愉快よ。
but I'm happy now.
あんたの真似をしてるとね、本当に退屈しないわ。
Imitating you really has been far from boring.
なじれ、好きに。
Scold me as you please.
かつて別れに際し、そなたに許した置き土産だ。
It is a parting gift I gave you when we last met.
口の悪いミコは退屈しないから好きなんだっけ。
You liked rude Mikos because they kept you entertained, right?
バカバカしい。
Ridiculous.
あんたを喜ばせるくらいなら口をつぐむわ。
If talking will only please you, I'll shut up.
それで何の用？
So, what do you want with me?
ベアトリーチェのゲームがバトラの勝利によって終わったそうだな。
It seems Beatrice's game has ended with Battler's victory.
感激していた。
I observed it.
なかなか面白かった。
It was quite entertaining.
私が無様な役でそれは面白かったでしょうよ。
I'm sure you liked seeing me fail miserably.
とんでもない。なかなか光栄であった。
Nonsense. It was a splendid performance.
ベアトもそなたに感謝しているだろう。
I'm sure Beato is very grateful to you.
それで
And?
ベアとのゲームのかけらを朗読しろって言うならお断りよ。
If you want me to read the fragments of Beato's game aloud to you, I refuse.
私はもうあんたのミコじゃない。
I'm not your Miko anymore.
私はベアトのゲームをすべて感激してきた。
I have observed all of Beato's games.
ラムダデルタのゲームもバトラのゲームも興味深く感激させてもらった。
I also watched Lambda Delta's game and Battler's game with great interest.
一応すべての謎に私なりの答えを用意できたつもりでいる。
I believe I have formed an answer for all the riddles in my own way.
犯人、
The culprit,
動機、
the motive,
個別のトリック、
the individual tricks.
碑文の謎は最後がギリギリわからぬが、
I'm not yet clear about the very last part of the epitaph's riddle.
私が実際に六軒島に行き検証すればわかる程度のレベルまでの推理は持っている。
But I have enough of a theory that if I actually went to Rokenjima and investigated, I should be able to resolve that part as well.
それで
And?
無論真実は一つでない以上、私の推理も許される可能性の中の一つに過ぎぬだろう。
Of course, since there's no single truth, my theory is probably only one of many possibilities.
しかしそれは可能性の範囲内でありさまつな問題だ。
However, that is only a question of possibilities, a trivial problem.
何よあんた。
What are you up to?
私とベアとのゲームの論争がしたいの？
Do you want to debate Beato's game with me?
違う。
Wrong.
したいのは答え合わせだ。人の子よ。
What I want is to look at the answers, child of man. Those words of Featherine's made Burnkasil straighten up. Her old master did not fail to notice that small reaction.
そなたも出演者として参照のように物語を盛り上げてきた。
So far, you have spiced up this tale as an actor.
その過程で多くの真実も知るだろう。
In doing that, you have probably come to know many truths.
しかしベアトが巧みに隠してきたいくつかの謎についてはそなたも知らぬのではないか？
However, even you are unaware of the truth beyond several riddles that Beato has cleverly kept hidden, correct?
なるほど。
I see.
私にまた腹渡を食いちぎって引きずり出す役をやらせたいのね。
You want to use me to chew apart and string out the guts of something again.
感激を得ればパンフレットを読み舞台裏を知るのは
After watching a play, reading a pamphlet and learning what goes on behind the scenes is similar to, as you would say it,
そなた風に言うなら食後にたしなむ紅茶のようなものだ。
enjoying some black tea after a meal.
それはたしなみだが欠かすことはできぬ。
That enjoyment cannot be left undone.
生きてるうちはめでて遊んで死んだら肉を食らってご機嫌満腹。
You like to play with them and love them while they're alive, then eat their flesh when they die.
あんたにとって猫は二度役に立つわけだわ。
So, cats are doubly useful to you.
死ね、化け物。
Just die, monster.
答え合わせがしたい。
I want to look at the answers.
そなたも知りたいはずだ。
I'm sure you want to know them.
ベアトの亡骸を葬ると思い その葬儀をそなたに執り行ってほしいということだ。
Think of it as a burial for Beato's corpse, where you are in charge of the service.
それならばどうか、人の子よ。
What do you say to that, child of man?
多少は私好みな頼み方になってきたわ。
Now, you're starting to speak my language. When Feathering snapped her fingers, a thin spotlight appeared on the table, which was covered with cluttered books. There lay a folded version of the game board for Beato's game! The witch of theater going spun her finger in a circle, and the game board opened up by itself, showing the black and white pieces lined up inside it.
ゲーム版もコマもすべて揃っている。
The game board and all the pieces are gathered here.
過去のゲームの寄付もすべて揃っている。
The records to the previous games are all present as well. With a rustling sound, the book flipped through all its pages of its own accord, front to back, shut itself, and flew to the side of the game board, where it waited. Inside it, all of the movements of the pieces during previous games were recorded.
なるほど。
I see.
足りないのはプレイヤーと解説者だけってわけ。
So, you were short a player and a commentator.
紅茶も足りぬな。
We're also short on black tea.
梅干しも足りぬか。
Similarly with dried plums.
もちろん用意しよ
Of course, I will find some.
いいわ。
Okay?
それにからし大福もつけてくれたら手を打つわ。
If you add on some mustard rice cakes, then we have a deal. Ew, mustard rice cakes. Blah, blah, blah.
う。交渉は成立だ。
The negotiations are concluded.
条件が一つ。
I have one condition.
ほう。それは何か。
Oh? And what is that?
朗読者は私よ。
I'm going to be the reader, okay?
私。愛がないからいろいろとおかしな解釈をしてしまうかもしれない。
I have no love, so a few things might be interpreted in an odd way.
でもどう読むか、どう抑揚をつけるかは朗読者の自由よ。
However, the reader is free to read things in a manner and with an intonation of her choosing.
私は答え合わせがしたいだけだ。
I only want to check the answers.
物語になど興味はない。
I don't particularly care about the tale itself.
そなたがどんな物語を紡ごうと全く興味は
I'm not deeply interested in what sort of tale you'll create.
ない。なるほど。
Ah, yes.
ようやくそなたが何をしたいのか分かった。
Now I see what you're after.
飲むでしょ。条件。
Will you accept that condition?
いいだろう。
Very well.
私は答えが知りたい。そなたは鬱憤が晴らしたい。
I want to know the answer. You have your grudge to worry about.
交渉は成立だ。
The negotiations are concluded. When Feathering snapped her fingers once more, a large chair appeared, as though beckoning Burn Castell to sit there. It was a throne, horribly mismatched with the furnishings of this room. Oh, look at my boy. Wait, I've seen this before. This is...
認めようぞ。座るがよい。
I acknowledge it. You may sit.
ゲームマスターはそなただ。
You are the game master.
いいのね。
Are you sure?
本当に。いいのね。
Are you really sure?
そなたの鬱憤が晴れるような好きな物語を紡げばいい。
You can create whatever sort of tale you like to satisfy your grudge.
私には興味ないことだ。
I am not interested.
ただし、私からも条件を一つ。
However, I have one condition as well.
私の求める答え合わせをすべてせよ。
Answer all of the questions I ask.
隠し事も包み隠しもごまかしも一切なしだ。
Absolutely no keeping secrets, hiding, or dodging the issues.
任せなさい。
Leave it to me?
腹渡引き裂いて中身をすべて引きずり出すのは私の最も得意とするところ。
Tearing up guts and dragging them out is my specialty.
あんたの仕込みだもの。
After all, you trained me.
紅茶を入れよ
Let us make some black tea.
う。魔法でなく、私自らの手でな。
We'll use our own hands, not magic.
主が巫女に茶を入れて信ぜようぞ。
Let the master treat our Miko to some tea.
かつてベアトは私に紅茶を飲むなら魔女とに限ると言ったわ。
The old Beato told me that witches are the best ones to have black tea with.
我らにはどうやら違うようだな。
Seems that rule doesn't apply to us. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna turn it up a bit more. Get this copyrighted, for sure. Alright, I'm turning it back on. It was here. It's fine. Laughs. At some point, that dish piled with biscuits had once again been covered with a mound of torn apart meat and a splatter of red. No, not just meat, even the bowels.
紅茶を飲むなら
Black tea is best enjoyed.
化け物同士に限るわ。
With your fellow monsters. Final answer episode, your last chance to think. Joke's on you, I haven't been thinking for the last 5 years of my life. Nothing happens in between these years. At least when it comes to streams. Stream on, brain off. Actually, final theory, Sakataro is behind everything. It's all Sakataro's fault. Any question can be answered with Sakataro. Any problem can be solved with Sakataro. Kind of grew into this song. God, wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, this was all a front and I actually knew all the answers to Umineko? Like, what if, dude, I've thought about this. Man, wouldn't it have been so hardcore if this whole time I've been, like, letting on that, like, I've never read Umineko? And what if, like, I did read Umineko, like, years ago? And now I'm just deciding to do it, like, on stream and stuff? I'm just a really good actor. I'm really good at playing dumb. It's true, I don't know how to lie. It's true. Ah, we're not over
で
yet.
は
False.
駒の準備を始めるわ。
In that case, let's get the pieces ready.
投資番号で言うと第7のゲーム。
If we keep up the count, this will be game 7, right?
そうなる。
Indeed.
縁起のいい数字だ。
A fortuitous number.
それはベアトにとってではないわね。
But not for Beato, right? Brinkstill slowly picked up a black piece. It was the piece that represented Beatrice. It was sometimes a king, sometimes a queen, and could become a knight. However, that was only if it got promoted. Until then, it was only a trash piece like a pawn. First comes the placing of the pieces. By this point, the witch's game has already begun. Brinkstill took Beato's piece and raised it high. She's gonna just chuck it off the board. Fuck this
初手
piece.
配置
First move, placement.
D8 ベアトリーチェ
Beatrice on D8. I am a man of chess. D8. D8. D. Ocho. De. Ocho. All right, everyone, congrats. We finished episode 6. And technically, it's October still. Not sure if that's intentional. Oh, yeah. Moving a pawn to d8. Well. It could just be Bernie saying, screw the fucking rules. I'll do whatever I want. I'm the game master this round. So we have a Bernie game master round here in episode 7. It has been set why it's happening. We know the game master. I'm being told that this is now where the answers come in. Thank God. You know, I partly play it up, partly don't. I love to be known, if anything, especially people that don't know, like, anything about me, but just watch me during these streams. I hope it just comes across, and I would love to be known as the smartest idiot that you know. I would love that to be, if that's like what you take away, then I will gladly wear that title. I want to be the smartest dumb person you know, because I truly think that that's apt for me. The dumbest genius, that's sure. Genius might be a little strong. I don't want to necessarily claim myself as even like a dumb genius. That might be pushing it. I know my limits. Genius sounds a bit too good. Too powerful. But I just, you know, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever episode 7 and 8 have got for me. I'm ready. I'm willing to accept what this has. We learn together. Am I starting episode 7, doing something else, ending stream? I'm honestly too lazy to switch to something else. I can guarantee that. I think we just start in on episode 7. I still have like an hour and a half at least that I can give to this. We start in on episode 7. It's not super clean or anything, but I mean, we can at least start in. We can at least do it. Get the littlest of head starts here onto into episode 7. Why not? Is there anything of interest on here on the screen that I could find? The spirit mirror, sure. Skins are cleaned when the season's out. I don't know. The code of the western world. The fisherman, sure. Ceremony, sure. Nijima Fishery Cooperative, which holds Bay. Dual pistol set. Set of demon dual pistols polarized upper and furfur. The number of shots loaded depends on the form of the duel. In most cases, it holds just single round. Motions of the duels are loaded into them. Truth bullets. And if one of their bullets graze any part of the body, concept of the target will be denied without exception. In the past, duels were performed in the classic style of swords. Took a great deal of turn before an outcome was reached. Choosing a dual weapon that could always kill a single shot. Of course, this weapon's not particularly popular among theater-going witches who are fans of good old drawn-out dramatic duels. True. Check Erica. Okay. Can do. Before I do that, click into her. I just want to look. I just want to look. Just want to look at people. Oh, I clicked that. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I'm doing. Ah, come on. I thought it would rotate. Alright, Erica. I clicked on Bernie when I meant Erica. The Witch of Truth is also the detective. She participates in Battler's game as a player. For the human side, she possesses several skills to qualify her to call herself a detective. Whether she wins or loses, this will be the last game, and there will be no further use of her. That's upsetting. Let's kill her. Oh, no. Oh, no. Bring her back. Oh, dude. Oh, we never got to see the bottom section of this. Look at this. It's got the crest on the fucking the thing. On the thigh of the dress. Look at that. Human side Erica as well. Wow. Wait, let me see this. Just a second. Okay, fell from a pleasure boat and is currently missing. Due to the Rokenjima explosion incident that occurred shortly after, her accident went completely forgotten. Her family says that she might have drifted to Rokenjima and gotten involved in the accident, but no evidence suggesting that she was ever on the island could be found. Forgers who know of this accident often theorize that she drifted onto Rokenjima and include her in the illusion of the witch. Can't resurrect him as hard as I try. Rip her. Wow, I clicked on execute one of them and they all went prrr. Cannon safe. I do just be cooking things now, don't I? Alright. Let's... If we all have said our piece, let's start in on episode 7, yeah? I'm sure we get a bunch of chaos with Bernie here now as Game Master. Episode 7. Episode 7 blurb, sure. Requiem of the Golden Witch. Thank you for reminding me, because I surely would forget. Requiem of the Golden Witch. Good morning. Scheduled for today is the funeral of the Golden Witch and her game. Days of the game are already over, and nothing remains but fond memories. Here, the cold hard truth will be revealed, and death will come to the game. There is a bit of difficulty to this one. Honestly, this feels like, if I was... it feels like a punishment. I should just actually end the stream here, and then I never do another Umineko stream until I've solved all of the problems up to this point. And then, maybe like 3 months from now, you'll see me surface back with an Umineko stream, and I'll have been like, I just sat in like a hyperbolic chamber, and I solved it all, and I just poured over all my past streams, and I just rewatched everything. Maybe I look up the answers because I just get tired after a while. And then I come back and I say, I've solved it all. That's what some people would want. Some people would say, I cannot progress to episode 7 until I've solved everything else on my own. Until the hamster spinning the wheel inside of my brain has done it. Telepathically send me the answers. Please. All right, so like I said, it won't be super long, but I've got like an hour and a half. Probably I can start in on episode 7 here. So let's do it. Get hyped. There's our very obviously fictional note about the story. Earth to earth. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. Illusions to illusions. And dreams to dreams. A dream is something drawn in the sand between the coming and receding waves.
それは波が寄せるたびに真っ白に戻ってしまう儚きもの。
Something so fragile that it's wiped blank every time a wave comes in.
だから心なき人はそれを描くことを無駄なことだと嘲笑うだろう。
Oh, I get to be Watson? So, yes. Dude, I'm totally fine. In that kind of relationship, I'm fine being the Watson. Honestly. I'm okay with it. Prediction. Okay, I want to actually know. Before, no spoilers, obviously. But I want to posit a question for chat. And, VOD watchers, YouTube, you go ahead. Throw in the comments if you care to. I'll read it. You're valid as well. How many times in these last 2 episodes am I gonna go, oh, damn! Because here's the thing. People are like, oh, you're losing a bunch if you don't try to solve everything on yourself. You're gonna lose, like, some bit or whatever. But honestly, what are the chances that, like, oh, something's revealed? I'm like, oh, that's like a fucking, like, those moments are fun. The moments where I get to go, like, oh, shit. Oh, during that one time back in, like, April when this thing was happening. Oh, it meant this. Like, I live for those. Those are fun. Those are fun. Several times, you think? I'd be here for several times. That sounds like a good number. So, the heartless might sneer, saying that drawing such things is useless and meaningless.
しかしも彼女の描いた夢を消す波は二度と訪れない。
However, no wave will ever come again to wipe away the dream she drew.
彼女が最後に描いた美しき夢はもう永遠に消えることはない。
And now, that final, beautiful dream of hers will not disappear for all eternity.
さあさあ思い浮かべてごらんなさい。
Come, try and picture it.
それは暖かき春の日の柔らかき午後の日差しが
It's as though the rays of the gentle afternoon sun on a warm spring day
そのまま陰ることを忘れたかのよう。
simply forgot to grow dim ever again.
それはとてもとても素敵なことなのだから。
It truly is such a wonderful thing.
あなたの最後の夢の立ち会い人
Witness to your final dream.
プブリウス・ワルギリア・マロ。
Publius? 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 Virgilia Maro. Publius? The suspects are gathered in a room, and several inquisitors of heresy were reporting on the results of their investigation. Sorry, I was just reading. If the, I guess there was a weird moment of like silence there. If you're a VOD watcher, especially without the aid of chat, I was reading chat there for a second because I was curious. Let's see. Their uniforms closely resembled those of Ursine Jungfrau, but they were slightly different. Oh, we got some interesting techno going on right now. Also different were the badges signifying their department. Then came the sound of someone clapping their hands once. It was the lead female inquisitor. She was announcing that all reasoning had been completed. As has been shown, it is all quite clear. Know that the preceding logic has proven the non-existence of your alibi. I will say this. So in chat it says they kind of threw it in your face on the end of episode 6. I said this, I think, like right at the start of this stream. I don't think I stressed it enough, but I'm pretty sure that ending bit where it showed like it was Erica and it was Battler and Beatrice loading like the final bullets into their guns or whatever, and Erica gave her statement of like, oh, I would join the thing and I would be the 17th person, and then Battler countered with like, even if you were to join, you would be the 16th person or whatever. I think that's probably a big thing. And honestly, throughout this whole tale, I don't know why I'm calling it a tale all of a sudden, But throughout this whole thing, the number of people on the island has always been a reoccurring point of contention. And I'm going to assume just because of how it was stressed there at the end of episode 6, it seems like that's probably a big, what would you call that? A big linchpin to everything. But I digress. As has been shown in this call, quite clear, know that the preceding logic has proven the non-existence of your alibi. At the other end of her pointing finger was a quivering maid with frightened eyes. Her name was? No, that's not important. What matters now is that she could have entered the closed room study where the victim was found whenever she pleased. And furthermore, that her claimed alibi for the time of the crime has been proven to contradict the facts. Shaking, the maid tried to continue in her illogical pleading, but all of her statements had already been seen through. With this, we conclude our proof of the whodunit and the howdunit. Know that your position as the culprit is now an unshakable fact. You must be joking. Why would I kill the master I loved and respected so? I have no motive, no reason. Who did it and how? Know that establishing these is more than sufficient. Please, allow me to speak. Know that motives are unnecessary in mysteries. The Inquisitor spoke coldly. After finishing her witch's prayer, Virgilia stepped back from the coffin, which lay on an altar bedecked with many beautiful roses. In her place, Battler moved to the front of the coffin, wearing his territory lord's cape. Though the cape was supposed to represent dignity and majesty, it somehow made Battler look smaller. Battler held a book with a majestic binding in his hand. It was a game record that had just been written. Or, perhaps, it was a tale. A game, or else a fragment. Written in it was a dream that would be more enjoyable for her than any other. Battler pressed against his forehead and contemplated for some time. Then, he kissed it, and we got a weird kissing sound effect. I'll do it into the mic. You want to hear what it sounds like when I kiss the mic? No, I can't even do it. I'll laugh too hard if I do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry, I'm backing out. I'm backing out of what I just said. I'm backing out. And laid it gently in the coffin. Oh, it's serious business. This is the start of episode 7 and I'm making jokes. I can't believe it. How dare I? It rested upon her chest. She looked like a little girl clutching her favorite stuffed animal as she drifted off to sleep. This is the sole tale I have to offer up you. Wait, did I read that right? The sole tale I have to offer, yeah, up you. Okay. This tale will be shut up with you in your coffin for all eternity. So, no one will be able to read it except for you, there in your coffin. Shut away in that cat box? The only, unchanging, inviolable, eternal tale. This way, no one will be able to defile it. No one can deny it.
反論できない。
and no one can argue against it.
俺とこいつだけの
This is just between me and her.
二人だけの
Just the two of us.
唯一絶対の
Our one and only certain
真実。
truth. Those bastards. A man dashed through a town wrapped in twilight. It has given off Twilight Town vibes. The daytime hustle and bustle of this beautiful village, which combined the traditional with the orderly and classic style of the last century, now seemed like a mere dream. The orange setting sun was already hidden behind the clock tower. Clock tower? Oh my god, it really is Twilight Town from Kingdom Hearts. Or Kingdom Hearts 2, I guess, but also other Kingdom Hearts games. And the narrow alleyway was rapidly descending into darkness. As the gas lights began to turn on, British... Oi! 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 British! As the gas lights began to turn on, they only made the darkness of the Twilight stand out all the more. The man sprinted. There was no time. He had to hurry. He'd had several experiments to do and nothing... And... Just adding words. He had several experiments to do and things he had to check. It had all taken longer than he'd expected. Yes, there's no mistake there. The whodunit and howdunit are more than enough in the mystery genre. In the mystery genre, the motive, or the whydunit, is given the lowest priority. To have a murder, you need to have a culprit, and he needs to commit a crime. Motive isn't required for that. So, it's usually the most ignored element. In fact, these days, there are even some who call it unnecessary. If you find the culprit with nothing but the whodunit, that's no mystery. That's propaganda. However, just because of that fact, it doesn't mean you can neglect the motive, the heart. Things are happening.
私たちは彼女の最後の眠りがどれほど楽しいものであるかを知っています。
We both know how much fun she'll be having in her final sleep.
だから何人たりとも彼女の眠りを妨げることはできないでしょう。
So, I doubt anyone could disturb it.
楽しい夢に微笑むこの眠りを妨げられるものなどいるわけもないのですから。
After all, who could possibly disturb a sleeping child smiling at a happy dream? I mean, by saying that, she's just inviting someone to disturb the sleeping child smiling at a happy dream. She's cursed it already.
さあ、
Come.
私たちはもう立ち去りましょう。
It is time for us to leave.
私たちが賑やかにしていたら彼女の夢を眠りを覚ましてしまいますよ。
If we're too noisy, we'll wake her from her dream.
そうだな。
You're right.
寝ている子には毛布をかけて
What else should you do with a sleeping child? Or
部屋
sleeping
を
kid?
暗くして静かに立ち去るのが決まりってもんだ。
Except put a blanket on them, turn off the lights, and walk away quietly. After looking at the coffin one last time, Virgilia turned around quietly. Battler did the same, but then he stopped and turned to face the rose-covered altar. Dots. Battler offered up his final words within his heart. As long as those words didn't leave his mouth, no one would be able to know what they were. However, those words of the heart caused Battler's expression to change several times. At first, he frowned sadly. Then, his face clouded with remorse, and then changed to a bitter, exasperated smile. It flashed through several varied expressions. Then, final expression that crossed his face was, surprisingly, a gentle smile. Something rose to Battler's lips. However, he bit it back down. There could certainly be no words to describe the many feelings he kept in his chest. So, Saying anything aloud would probably be crude. Battler understood this, and stopped himself from speaking once more with a wry smile.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
お礼を言われるようなことは何も。
Oh, I've done nothing to deserve your gratitude.
あとを頼む。
I'll leave the rest to you. After seeing Virgilia nod back at him, Battler turned away from the altar one more time, and left the chapel. Virgilia also disappeared, and with that, all disturbances that might have interrupted her blissful sleep had vanished. The Inquisitors of Heresy listened with calm, no, scornful gazes. They listened to the frantic babbling of the maid accused of murdering her master. However, nothing she said could bury the fault in her own alibi. They were all mere emotional arguments. I loved and respected the master so much. I had no motive for killing him. No matter how much she spoke, it only made her look more and more like the floundering true culprit struggling pathetically. The requirements for the whodunit and howdunit had been satisfied. As for the whydunit, the motive, the heart, no matter how much she spoke of gratitude for her master, who had graciously given her a job which had been left by the wayside after various misfortunes, it didn't help her case in the slightest in the mystery genre. Therefore, her motive didn't matter. All of that could just be squeezed out of the culprit afterwards. An Inquisitor of Heresy took out a roll of parchment and held it forth, cutting off the maid's sobs and protests.
あなたがいかにして犯行に及んだか。
This is how you committed the crime.
その告発は大法院にて受理される。あなたの逮捕を許可したことを知りたまえ。
Know that this indictment has been received by the Great Court and that your arrest has been approved.
これがあなたの逮捕状なり。
Here is the warrant for your arrest. This is exactly like the Natsui scene. Yeah, I was gonna say, this is shades of the Natsui scene with Erika accusing her and all that. And then where we were getting harped on about the who done it, why done it, and why the why done it isn't important. But more the why, or more the who, I mean, and how. Here's a warrant for your arrest.
動機など不要。
Motive is unnecessary.
犯人の特定には一切不要のものと知りたまえ。
Know that such a thing is completely extraneous to the matter of pinpointing the culprit.
その上で謹んで申し上げる。
Please, allow me to speak.
我らが SSVD は罪を認めぬ犯罪者に真実を告白させる強制的手段を持つと知りたまえ。
Know that we of the SSVD possess methods of forcing unrepentant criminals to reveal the truth.
我らが異端審問官が正義にて祝福された審問具にてあなたの獅子を絞り上げて焼いて潰して引き伸ばして吊るし上げる。
With these interrogation tools, blessed by the powers of justice, we Inquisitors of Heresy will strap up your limbs, burn you, crush you, stretch you, and hang you. That's lovely.
そこより赤き真実を絞り出してみせることを申し上げたてまつる。
And in so doing, wring the red truth out of you.
自白すらも不要。
It is even necessary for you to confess.
補佐官一同、そのメイドを逮捕したてまつれ。
Aides, arrest that maid.
私じゃないです。私は旦那様を殺したりなんかしません。
It wasn't me. I didn't kill the master. No. No. Huh?
やめな。
Oh my god. Ooh. Hold it right there. At least he's wearing pants. Hold it right there.
そのメイドは犯人じゃね
You've got the wrong culprit. A man kicked the door open, and the Inquisitors were all shocked at the sight of him.
なぜあなたがここにいるものなり。
Why are you here?
この事件はもうあなたの担当ではないと知りたまえ。
Know that this case is no longer your responsibility.
え。うるせえ。
Quiet.
アリバイがないやつを一人見つけたらそいつが犯人なのか。
You find one person without an alibi and just assume that she's the culprit?
犯行には動機が。心がいらねえってのか。
Do you really think there's no need for a motive, for a heart in crime?
犯行はな。人が犯すんだよ。
Crimes are committed by people.
心がねえ事件なんて存在しねえ。
There are no crimes without a heart. I need to get a look at the. There isn't gonna be any. I need to be like looking at this shit. Look at this shit. I need to look at this shit. Or is this gonna reveal another potential future spoiler like it did last time? am I looking for am I searching for spoilers? Never forget. Okay, crimes are committed by people. There are no crimes without a heart. Should wait? Ah, fuck. I didn't actually end up reading anything though, so everything is cool. There are no crimes without a heart. I'll never accept a theory that neglects the heart.
あなたのホワイダニット至上主義の主張には辟易するものと知りたま
Know that your obsession over the why done is simply embarrassing.
ホワイダニットなど無用
The why done it is unnecessary.
審問すればかようなものを容易に絞り出せるものなり
Such a thing can be extracted easily through interrogation.
大法院もその女が犯人であることを認めたものなり
Even the great court has already acknowledged that this woman is a culprit.
大法院はそのメイド以外の全員にアリバイがあるならきっとそうなんだろうという
True. Great court does assume that everyone besides the maid has an alibi.
お前の独りよがりを鵜呑みにしただけだ
But that's just because I heard you say so, and they've mistaken your overconfidence and conceit for wisdom.
他の被疑者のアリバイが崩れれば白紙に戻る
If any of the other suspects loses their alibi, your evidence so far proves nothing.
他の連中のアリバイも無様なもんじゃない
Just look at how pathetic some of these other alibis are.
大広間の時計の音は正確に正午を刻んだが
Did the clock in the reception hall chime midnight exactly the right time?
勝手口の犬は全員に吠えるのか
Did the dog by the back door bark at everyone?
確かにお前はメイドのアリバイの偽証を崩した
So, you managed to prove the maid's alibi false.
それは見事なもんさ
Congratulations.
だがそれで終わりなのか
But does it end there?
メイドに犯行が可能でもそれを行う動機はあるのか
It may have been possible for her to do it, but does she have any motive at all?
他の人間のアリバイは完璧なのか
Are the alibis for the others absolutely perfect?
他にもアリバイを偽証している人間がいる
This maid wasn't the only one with a false alibi.
それを探すことを怠るな
You have to keep on searching if you want to find the others.
犠牲者に怨恨は金銭関係でトラブルは
Is there some sort of grudge against the victim? Or some money-related problem?
動機を捨てるな心を捨てるな
Don't abandon motive. Don't abandon the heart.
動機なんて後付けでどうでもいいなんてそんな乾ききったミステリーごっこは卒業しちまいな
Dry mysteries where the motive can just be figured out later aren't worth anyone's time.
メイドが犯人でないならなぜに彼女はアリバイを偽証するものなりや
If the maid is the culprit, then why did she fake an alibi?
そしてそれを問うことも茶番
Even asking such a question is a waste of time.
審問し赤き真実を絞り出し犯行時刻の全てを赤基地で署名させるだけで良いものと知りたまえ
Know that we just have to interrogate her, ring out the red truth, and have her sign in red blood to everything that happened at the time of the crime.
ああそうだろうな
Yeah, you probably can do that.
お得意の拷問で全てを神の目線から客観的に赤裸々に絞り出せばいいさ
You can just use that torture of yours to squeeze out everything frankly and objectively, as seen from the eyes of God.
でもな言っておく
But you know what?
心のねえミステリーと推理のやり方はな俺が絶対に認める
I'll never accept mysteries and theories that lack heart.
すでに本事件は本館に継承されたるものなり
I have already taken over responsibility for this case.
ここに命令書もあるものなり
I even have a decree right here.
さあ補佐官一同構うことはなしと知りたまえ
Come now, aides. Know that there's no reason to hesitate.
そのメイドの逮捕を命じるものなりや
I order you to arrest this maid. When she gave this order, her subordinates hesitated, looking back and forth between their superior and that man.
させね
God, he's so cool. I won't let you.
え本当の犯人は他にいる
The real culprit's a different person.
動機から推理可能だ
It's possible to use motive to find them,
アリバイトリックなんざ古典通り
and their alibi trick is an old one.
心を忘れるんじゃね
You can't neglect the heart.
心など不要なり
There's no need for that.
犯行可能な疑わしき人物を導き出し、審問して赤き真実を絞り出せばいい。
We just have to find the suspicious ones who could have committed the crime, interrogate them, and squeeze out the red truth.
万一犯人でなかったなら
On the off chance that they aren't the culprit,
別の疑わしい容疑者を審問にかければいいだけなりや。
then we just have to interrogate the next suspect.
そんなのは推理じゃ。
You call that reasoning?
退きたまえ。
Stand back!
その女を逮捕するものなりや。
We will arrest that woman.
そのメイドが犯人であると知りたまえ。
Know that this maid is the culprit.
使用人が犯人であることを禁ず。
It is forbidden for a servant to be the culprit. What? What?
と
Did you say? The words of power blasted away the age trying to arrest the maid.
バンダイン20。
Oh my god. Alright, Van Dyne's 20 rules. Rule number 11. Funny.
このメイドを拷問したかったら、第二夫人とその愛人のアリバイをもう一度洗いな。
If you want to torture this maid, make sure you double check the alibis for the second wife and her lover first.
その二人には犯行時刻の明白なアリバイが。
Those two already have a clear alibi for the first time of the crime.
あの程度でアリバイかよ。
That an alibi?
ボンクラのお前に分かるように説明してたら、時間がいくらあっても足りねえや。めんどくせえ。
Damn it. Fool like you couldn't understand no matter how easy I make it for you.
主席を名乗りたかった。その程度の捜査と推理を見せてみろ。
If you want to call yourself the head inquisitor, try and figure out at least that much for yourself.
それまで、このメイドへの逮捕状は俺が預かるぞ。
Until then, I'll be taking that maid's arrest warrant.
ならあなたに
Then what about you?
そのメイドが犯行を犯さなかったことが証明できるなりや。
Can you prove that this maid didn't commit the crime?
犯行時刻に彼女が台所を離れていたことは明らかと知りたまえ。
Know that she was clear away from the kitchen at the time of the crime.
彼女は犯行時刻にどこで何を。
What was she doing then? And where?
その女にも今回にもあなたにも誰にも証明は不可能なりや。
She can't prove it, I can't prove it, and you can't prove it. No one can!
なればこそ審問の拷問具で赤き真実を絞り出すほかなきなり。
That's why we have no choice but to use these torture devices to interrogate her until the red truth is squeezed out.
真犯人からは、シヘドでも真実でも好きなだけ絞り出してやれ。
You can squeeze as much blood and truth from the true culprit as you damn well please.
だがな、
However,
真犯人じゃねえ人間はいかなる審問も拷問も許さね
I won't let you interrogate or torture anyone who isn't that culprit.
だからこそあなたは甘いと批判されるものなり。
This is why everyone says you're too soft.
疑わしきはすべて審問。
All the suspicious must be interrogated.
それが我ら異端審問官の魔女裁判であると知りたまえ。
That is how we Inquisitors of Heresy conduct our witch trials.
え。そうだな。俺たちは異端審問官
That's right, we are Inquisitors of Heresy.
邪悪な魔女を撃つ。それが商売さ。
Felling evil witches is our job.
だが、万一にも市民を傷つけてはならない。
However, we mustn't risk hurting the innocent.
疑ってはならない。
We mustn't put them under suspicion.
人間は誰しも自分だけの真実を持つ。
All humans have their own personal truths.
それは罪を犯した時にのみ暴かれる。
Those should only be exposed when they commit crimes.
俺たちにはそれを暴く資格が与えられている。
We've been given the right to expose them.
だがな、ねえんだよ。
But there's one thing we can't do.
何が
Ooh, what?
罪なき人間の罪なき真実を暴く資格なんざ、たとえ神様にだって与えられちゃいねえんだよ。
No one, not even God, has the right to expose the innocent truths of those who have not sinned. The maid finally realized that he was trying to protect her.
どちら様か存じませんが。
I don't know who you are, but
ありがとう
thank you.
ございます。
Very much.
私本当に犯人じゃないんです。
I'm really not the culprit.
んなことは知ってる。
Yeah, I know.
お前の彼氏は全てを投げ出してお前のためにアリバイを証言するとよ。
Your boyfriend said you'd be willing to give up everything to prove your alibi.
感謝してくれ。
You should thank him.
あの若造は名誉も肩書きもお前に比べたら大したもんじゃねえと言いやがったぜ。
That kid said that honor and reputation are worth nothing compared to you.
そんなことをしたらあの人は。
But if he does that, he'll...
それには及ばね
It won't come to that.
え。恋人たちの秘め事を暴くのは三流雑誌の仕事だ。
Exposing the secrets between lovers is a job for third-rate magazines.
ミステリーじゃね
That's not mystery.
え。俺は心のない推理は絶対に許さね
I'll never allow for heartless reasoning. Then, for the first time, the man's sullen expression relaxed, and he patted the maid's head roughly. Thwack, thwack.
え。きっと彼氏と幸せになりやがれ。
I'm sure you two will be happy together.
だが勤務中に相引きするのはあまり褒めてる。
Still, being together in secret while on the job is hardly praiseworthy.
時々にしとくんだな。
Try to keep that to a minimum.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much. These words were heard only by the two of them. The man had learned of her innocence. The man had learned of her innocence, which could only be proven by exposing the secrets of a pair of young lovers. And he had rushed about in search of a solution, resentful of the arrogance of those trying to expose this by forcible means.
推理はな、犯人を作ることでも、その過程で罪なき人々の心の真実を踏みにじることでもね。
The point of theory making is not to create a culprit,
心が大事なんだ。
or to trample the truths that lie in the hearts of those who have not sinned.
探偵気取るなら心を忘れるんじゃね
If you want to play the detective, don't neglect the heart.
え。そいつを忘れたら俺たちはただの知的蹂躙者だ。
Otherwise, we're just intellectual rapists.
それを忘れるな。
Don't forget it. When the man spoke, the Inquisitors no longer had any way to argue back. This man's name is Will, and yet that's not what everyone used to call him. Head Inquisitor of Heresy of the SSVD, the 8th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. Wizard Hunting Right. I got a little thing. There he is. Look how cool. A member of the SSVD, the 8th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven, an Inquisitor of Heresy, and a first-class Archbishop. He's commonly known as Right of the 20 Wedges, or Wizard Hunting Right. He was an Ace Inquisitor of Heresy in his youth, feared for being both ruthless and merciless in his work. However, at some point there was a change in his work attitude, and his previous flashy escapades became a thing of the past. His current style is often fickle, alternating between laziness and obsessive bursts of energy regarding mere trifles. God, that's relatable. That's like my current style, too. I mean, that sentence applies to me. My current style is often fickle, alternating between laziness and obsessive bursts of energy regarding mere trifles. I feel so seen by that sentence. By now, everyone has given up trying to understand him. He has already filled his resignation and had it accepted. Only a few days remain before he'll lose the name of Right. Lovely. This is the last thing I have to pass on to you guys. If you want to be the next Wizard Hunting Right, remember it. No matter what. Nice. Alright, we got another opening. Huh? Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Oh god, get a big stretch in here. Oh, we're entering episode 7. Holy shit. Oh my god, stretch the back. My old man back. Oh my god. Alright. Quietly. Quietly. The rain fell down. The rain of sadness dripped down the outer walls of the chapel, quietly washing away the dust of the world of the living. I think I can read the profiles now. Only Burns was new. Let's take a look here. The magician and the like should get to a talent, began to tread the path. That's how that one reads familiarly. Beato Renove. Okay. It's them. The Witch of Miracles and Miko to the Witch of Theater going. In the 7th game, she conducts Beato's funeral. She was defeated in the previous game, making her the loser. Loser. She was defeated in the previous... Oh, order that. She was proclaimed that she'll tear out the guts of Beato's game to satisfy her irritation. And yet... No one. Okay. Quietly washing away the dust of the world of the living. Yes. The chapel doors were open. During a wedding, only those with invitations are allowed inside. However, during a funeral, the doors are open to all who remember the deceased. So, this must be a funeral. A shadow holding an umbrella approached the chapel. It was Will. What is this? Alright, Will. It was Will. Hi, Will. A reception desk had been set up at the chapel's entrance. As the shadow approached, Cannon, who had been sitting at this desk, stood up and welcomed him with a bow. This is the reception desk. We are collecting the names of all the mourners. If you would sign in here. Sorry. But I'm not a mourner. I'm here to meet with someone. You came to a funeral to meet someone? A dubious expression rose to Cannon's face. Will pulled an envelope from his pocket and showed him the sender's name. My apologies. Please, enter. Thanks. Could I at least have one of those? Thank you very much. I'm sure she will be pleased. Cannon handed him one of a set of golden roses, which were being handed out to all the mourners. Will took it, silently bowed his head, and entered the chapel. Inside the chapel, several people who appeared to be the family of the deceased were gathered, and they all seemed to be recalling memories of the departed. Sobbing Kinzo. Beatrice.
Nothing.
Why?
Nothing.
お父様、どうかしっかり。
Father, please, stop making those horrible sounds, for the love of God.
控室の方で少し休みましょう。
Why don't you rest in the waiting room for a bit?
私が殺したのよ。
I killed her.
私が。
I did it.
とんでもない。
Absurd.
どうしてローザ様が殺したことになりましょう。
How could that be, Rosa-sama?
お父さんすごい泣きよね。
Father's really bawling.
ベアトリーチェか
Yeah, Beatrice, huh?
絶対お母様が亡くなった時より泣いてるわ。
I'm sure he didn't cry this much when Mother passed away.
こら
Hey,
今はそんなこと言うときちゃうで。
now's not the time to say things like that. Some sobbed, unable to conceal their tears, and some spoke softly of old memories. They were all remembering the dead in their own way, it seemed. When Will approached the altar, several people turned around. Of course, none of them knew who Will was. Paying this no mind, Will walked in front of the casket on the altar, which seemed to be buried under golden roses. Inside the casket, there was no corpse. Instead, as though it lay there in a place of a body, was a single, thick book with an extravagant binding. The space all around it was filled with countless golden roses. There were words printed on the book's cover. To my beloved Beatrice. October 5th, 1986.
Miss Beatrice.
Miss Beatrice.
ミセスだったら許しな。
If it was Mrs., then forgive me.
会ったことはね
I've never met you.
え。だが、お悔やみ申し上げるぜ。
However, allow me to express my condolences. He took the rose he had received from the reception area and placed it in the casket. He had absolutely no connection to the woman called Beatrice. However, since he had come to visit a funeral, he had to show his minimum amount of respect for the dead. As part of this, Will prayed for the passage of the dead into the next world.
失礼だが、
Pardon me,
どちら様かな？
but who might you be?
私は後宮クラウス、
I am Yishiromiya Kraus.
喪主の代行です。
I'm serving as the chief mourner.
こっちは子供のリオン。
This is my child, Lion.
はじめまして。
Huh? Huh? Also, lion. The first child of Kraus and Natsui, Jessica, is their second child. Was given the silver ring of successor to the headship and will succeed the position of family head upon turning 20. Mild, polite, and without any clear faults. Except for being too young, Lion is a more suitable successor than anyone else and is adored by Kinzo. Pleased to meet you.
後宮リオンです。
I'm Yishiromiya Lion.
リオン
Lion?
誰だお前
Who the heck are you? Same.
理科の理に魚するの魚でリオンと読みます。
Alright, so let's not say I will concede. I will not say lion. So, Leon. It's written as that. But pronounced Leon. Leon.
ちょっと日本人っぽくない名前ですよね。
It's like my middle name. Lee. I guess it is a bit strange for a Japanese name. Dots? Questioning dots? Will stared at Leon's face, wearing a confused expression. He hadn't seemed particularly interested in Kraus, but Leon had apparently drawn some sort of reaction from him. Rather than interest, it was more as though he felt like something was out of place. Me and you, Will. I just wanted to look at the outfit a bit. I'm rating the fit. Remember at the end of this, we're rating everyone's fit on a tier list, if I can remember. I don't know. I'm not necessarily a fan of, this is gonna sound really harsh. This shade of red, especially within the pink little thing. I don't even know what you call those things. The little thing. I'm just not liking the color scheme. Kraus-sama. Madam says it is about time. But man, we're really being spoiled here at the beginning of episode 7. 2 new character intros? At least so far? How lovely. Ah, I see. Ladies and gentlemen, if we're too noisy in here, it may disturb the dead. I've been told that the waiting room has been readied. Shall we move over there? When Kraus called out to everyone, they began to move towards the chapel waiting room. My apologies. Leon, could you entertain our guests for now? I will guide the others to the waiting room. Yes, father. How old are we pinning Leon? I mean, we got except for being too young. Ambiguous? Interesting. Alright. It looked like a natural conversation with no awkwardness for either father or child. Father and child, is it? Yes, but why do you ask? Ishiromiya Kraus's child is supposed to be Jessica. Jessica is my little sister. Do you need me to call for her? Okay, so I immediately love... I'm gonna be 100% honest. Cut through the bullshit. I love Will here. Williard H. Wright. Being like, alright. Something clearly is up. Again, almost the stand-in for the reader. Me. Getting to come in and go like, alright, immediately something's changed. This is different. Signify. At least. See, by doing this, you obviously, it's the most obvious things. I've never, like, you'd have to be several levels dumber than me to not be like, oh, this is, like, if you're like, I've seen this character before, mistakenly for whatever reason, right? That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm just saying, it makes you feel better as a reader. You're like, okay, we're all on the, at least, not we're all. Me and Will are on the same page here. This feels very weird and different and wrong. I don't know. There's something comforting about it. The game isn't stringing you along as the reader. The story is giving you someone else to bounce off your feeling of like something isn't right. And it just is like it's a nice comforting feeling.
Yeah, nice.
No, that won't be necessary. Apparently, some sort of, I don't know, I'm probably not describing it well. There's something about it, like, it not dwelling on the fact that, like, it's something about, like, not dwelling on the fact that there's, like, a new character that wasn't there previously that we don't know of or something. It's cutting right to it and being like, yes, we're establishing it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. We'll probably get to explain things later. Is the best way I can put it. Apparently, some sort of game was already being played right off the bat. Scratching at his head with an irritated look on his face, Will glanced around.
失礼ですが、あなた様は個人とはどのようなご関係で？
Pardon me, but what sort of relation did you have with the deceased?
全く何もね
え。None at all.
迷惑な話さ。
It's a real pain.
ではあなたはどうしてこの葬儀に？
Then why did you come to this funeral? Since Leon was a fairly mild person, Will's behavior was met with nothing more than a blank expression. A normal person would probably have put on a dubious look long before this. Will scratched his head again and yelled angrily at someone other than Leon.
来たぜ。
I'm here.
そろそろ顔を出しやがれ。
Isn't it about time you showed your face? The members of the Ishimiya family had already followed Krause's instructions and moved to the waiting room. By now, no one could be seen in this cold, vast chapel, decorated with gold roses except for Will and Leon.
よく来たわね。
So, you've come.
異端審問官、魔術師狩りのライト。
Wizard hunting right, Inquisitor of heresy? The girl's voice came suddenly from behind the pair. There she is. When Leon turned around in surprise, a girl had appeared out of nowhere and drifted down on top of the altar. She landed softly on the sacred funeral altar as though this was perfectly normal, crushing the golden roses under her shoes. Of course, Leon didn't know this girl. Just why on earth were all these people unrelated to the funeral popping up one after another?
俺はもう引退だ。
I'm already retired.
仕事なら新しいライトに頼みな。
If you have a job you need doing, go ask the new right.
いいえ。
No,
あなたに頼みたいのよ。
you're the one I want to ask.
この事件を。
I'm giving this case to you.
送った物語は読んでくれたかしら？
Did you read the tale I sent you?
斜め読み程度にはな。
I skimmed it.
あなたがどなたか存じませんが、そこから降りてください。
I don't know who you are, but please get down from there.
そこは神聖な祭壇ですよ。
That's a sacred altar. Snapping out of a daze, Leon told the girl to get down off the altar, but she ignored this completely. On top of that, Will kept on talking to the girl as though Leon wasn't even there.
リオンとか言ったな。
I hear this is Leon.
こいつは何者だ？
Who is that exactly?
その子が名乗った通りよ。
You've already heard who? Ishimiya Leon. There's no case of a person with that name appearing in any of the previous games.
お前の駒なのか？
Is this your piece?
いいえ。
No.
このゲーム版の正しく正当な駒。
It's a true and proper piece of this game board.
登場人物よ。
The character appearing in the story.
ゲームマスターはお前だ。
You're the game master.
なら、お前の駒だろ。
That means it's your piece. Giggle.
ベアとの猫箱よりもっと大きな猫箱で閉ざしただけよ。
I've just moved from Beato's cat box into a larger cat box.
リオンはその中で生まれ得る可能性を持つ一つの駒。
Leon is one of the pieces who has a possibility of appearing inside it.
そういうことか。
Ah, I see.
結局、お前の駒というわけだ。
In other words, it's your piece.
私が置いた駒という意味では正しいわ。
Did he just say, ah, I see? In other words, it's still your piece. It's a piece I've placed, would be the correct way to say it.
ただし、エリカのような配下の駒ではないということか。
So, you're saying this piece isn't your subordinate, like Erica.
エリカって誰？
Erica? Who's that? Oh, that fucking loser.
Erika-san?
Erica-san? Question marks?
理解しようとするな。
Don't try to understand.
頭痛になら。
You'll just get a headache. Leon didn't have a clue what they were talking about. However, Though neither person was familiar, it seemed clear that they both knew a lot about the Ishimiya family.
私にはあなたたちが何の話をしているのか分かりません。
I don't know what you two are talking about.
とにかくそこのお嬢さん、
Anyway, you, girl,
その祭壇から降りてください。
please get down off the altar.
後ろ宮家次期当主としてお願い申し上げます。
I ask this as the successor to the Ishimiya family headship. Even Leon was finally forced to speak in a raised voice to that girl, who continued to chat while casually standing on the altar. However, girl ignored this completely. On the other hand, Will did show a reaction.
次期当主はクラウスのはずだ。
The successor is supposed to be Kraus.
父クラウスは私が20歳になるまでの間の当主代行です。
My father, Kraus, will be the acting head until I turn 20.
20歳になると同時に次期当主である私が当主を継承することになっています。
Then, I am to succeed the headship.
初耳だ。
First I've heard of this.
証拠はあるのか？
Can you prove it? It seemed that even Leon was starting to get ticked off by now. That calm expression appeared to twitch slightly.
これは次期当主に許されている片翼の鷲の銀の指輪です。
This is the successor's silver ring of the one-winged eagle.
これで証拠になりますか？
Is that proof enough for you?
銀の指輪？
A silver ring?
金の？当主の指輪は何度も登場したが、次期当主の銀の指輪など初耳だ。
The golden head's ring has appeared several times, but I've never heard anything about a silver ring for the successor.
クラウスもジェシカもそんなものを指に通していた記憶がね。
I don't remember Kraus or Jessica ever wearing one of those. What kind of madness is Bernie up to? Substituting gold for silver rings, adding random characters, claiming Erica doesn't exist. Even though we've gone to know and love and hate Erica for 2 episodes prior to this. How dare. That's Erica erasure. Giggle.
嬉しいわ。
I'm glad.
斜め読みにしてはちゃんと読んでくれてるじゃない。
For someone who's just skimmed it, it seems you've read it pretty well.
魔女のよこす文章はどこにろくでもねえことが書いてあるか分かったもんじゃねえ。
When a witch hands you a story, you never know when something absurd will pop up.
ましてやそれが元老院の大魔女とくりゃな。
Especially when it's a great witch from the Senate. What?
あなた方は
Who in the world
一体何者なんですか？
are you two?
失礼だが、私には何の話をしているのかさっぱりわかりません。
Sorry, but I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
個人への献花がお済みでしたら、どうぞお引き取りを。
If you've finished offering flowers to the departed, please make your exit.
どうやらあなた方は当家がおもてなしすべき方々ではないようです。
It seems you two aren't worthy of our family's hospitality. Leon finally ran out of patience. These were the strictest words that this gentle kid could unleash. I was literally just about to make that kind of joke. I was being like, wow, that's the most limpest forcefulness that Leon could throw at Erica and our guy Will. However, Will and the girl seemed not to care at all.
俺も来たくて来たわけじゃねえ。
I didn't come here because I wanted to.
時間の無駄だから話を進めるわ。
We're wasting time, so let's move onwards.
ライト、
Right?
このゲームに挑みなさい。
Try and beat this game.
ゲームマスター、ベルンカステルの名において、このゲームにあなたを招待してあげるわ。
As the game master, Bern Castell, I invite you to join in.
お断りだ。
I refuse.
どうして？
Why?
俺はもう引退する身だ。
I'm retired now.
推理もミステリーも知ったことか。
Reasoning and mysteries aren't my business anymore.
何をして余生を過ごすというの？
How do you intend to spend the rest of your life?
魔術師狩りのライトが魔女狩りをやめて。
Is wizard hunting right? Going to give up witch hunting?
狐狩りでも潮干狩りでもするさ。
There's still fox hunting and clam hunting to look forward to.
俺がここに来たのはあんたと余生を語るためじゃね。
I didn't come here to discuss the rest of my life with you.
断るために来たと。
So, you came here to refuse?
ご検察いただき、光栄の極みと知りたまいなりや。
Know that your powers of deduction are truly a sight to behold.
なら好きにしたらいいわ。
Then do as you will.
どこへでも行けばいい。
Go wherever you please.
ただし、ここから立ち去れればの話だけれど。
That is, assuming that you can leave this place.
それで、
So,
条件と報酬は
what are the terms and payment? In truth, Will had resigned himself from the beginning. He knew that he was incapable of refusing an invitation from the great Lady Bernkstel.
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰か。
Who killed Beatrice?
それが私のゲームよ。
That's my game.
報酬は私に対するその無礼な口の利き方を許すことと、この礼拝堂を立ち去る権利。
In payment, I'll forgive you for your insolence and let you leave this chapel.
退屈を愛さない魔女は存在な言葉を愛すると聞いたぜ。
I hear that boredom-hating witches just love to be spoken to rudely.
それは1000年を生き飽きたババア魔女の話よ。
That's only for hags who've tired of life after 1,000 years.
私はまだまだ若いから、
I'm
あん
still
たみたいな言葉遣いの男を
I'm still plenty young.
どんな過酷な運命に閉じ込めてやろうかと無双することを愛するの。
So I love thinking up horrible fates in which to trap rude men like you.
それで、
So,
敵は誰だ？
who's my enemy?
いないわ。
There is none.
妨害などするわけもない。
There's no one to stand in your way.
このゲームをあなたが美しく詰めるところをただ私たちは感激したいだ
I just want to sit back and watch you make your beautiful checkmate in this game.
け。仲間も用意する。
I've even found you an ally.
それがそのリオンよ。
That's what this Leon is for. Leon's getting sucked into the game. After hearing that name spoken out of the blue, Leon frowned once more. Apparently, they were moving things along without Leon's knowledge of understanding, which the latter seemed to find truly irritating.
リオンは後ろ宮家の人間。
Leon is a member of the Ishimiya family.
後ろ宮家の誰とも面識のないあなたには心強い味方となってくれるでしょう。
And should prove to be a useful ally, seeing as no one in the family knows you.
何の話か分かりかねますが、事情のわからない話には何もご協力はできかねますよ。
I'm not sure what this is all about, but I can hardly be of assistance until I know what's going on here.
だそうだ。
There. See?
頼もしい限りだな。
With help like this, it'll be a piece of cake.
私と我が主を楽しませなさい。魔術師狩りのライト。
Entertain me and my master, wizard hunting, right?
あうあうは行儀のいい感激者だけれど。
She still can't say her name. Maybe a polite theater goer.
私は退屈するとポップコーンを投げつけたりしちゃうかもね。
I guess that reads almost as like, ow, might be a polite theater goer, but I might throw popcorn at you if I get bored, okay? Will scratched his head with a displeased look on his face. He wasn't at all interested in getting involved, but by now, he realized that he couldn't disobey Bernkstel's orders. Then, he approached the casket and pointed at its rose-filled insides.
ベアトリーチェ殺人事件の依頼とのことだが、
You asked me to solve the case of Beatrice's murder, but...
バンダイン20則、第7則。
Van Dyne's 20 rules. Rule number 7.
死体なき事件であることを禁ず。
It is forbidden to have a crime without a corpse.
悪魔の証明ね。
That's the devil's proof.
棺にないだけじゃない。
Maybe it just isn't inside the casket.
死体が存在しないことをあなたが証明できない限り、これはミステリーよ。
Unless you can prove that no corpse exists, this is a mystery.
第1則。 手がかりすべての揃わぬ事件を禁ず。
Rule number 1. It is forbidden to have a crime without all clues presented.
安心なさい。
Don't worry.
すべてはここに揃っている。
Everything is gathered here. Though there was no change to Will's unsatisfied expression, he seemed to have understood the general pattern of this place. The simple fact that a mere inquisitor of heresy had been summoned by an uninhibited, fickle, cruel great witch of the Senate meant that he'd be treated as no more than a mere underling. All along, he had possessed no way to refuse her.
この空っぽの棺の主を殺したのは誰か。
So, who killed the owner of this empty coffin?
引き受けてやら。
I'll answer that question.
ただし、俺の流儀でやらせてもらう。
However, you'll let me do things my way.
ご自由に。
As you like.
まず最初にすることは、お前に現状を理解させることだな。
First off, I need to make you understand the current situation.
それをお願いできると私もとても助かります。
Yes, that'd be extremely helpful at the moment. Leon's expression seemed nonplussed, angry, and confused all at the same time.
キラ、
Over here.
実際に見た方が早い。
It'd be faster to see it for yourself.
いいでしょう。
Wonderful.
音もしましょうとも。
Please, lead the way. Will signaled with his chin for Leon to follow him and spun around. After snorting once in an unsatisfied manner, Leon followed him, as though resigned to see Will's little show. As she watched them leave the chapel, Veronica still sneered silently at them, a cold smile on her face.
尊厳なる感激と戯曲と傍観の魔女。
As the Miko of the Great Witch of Theater going, drama and spectating, feathering something,
フェザリーヌなんとかアウアウローラの巫女にして奇跡の魔女。
And as the Witch of Miracles, I, Berncastel,
ベルンカステルの名において、このゲームの開始を宣言するわ。
announce the start of this game. Why does it make me laugh so hard that there's just some dumb little aspect of Bernie here that she just never has learned or cared to learn, or just keeps mistaking Feathering's name. Augustus Aurora, or as she said, something Aurora.
物語のタイト
It's
ル
just
は
very silly to me.
黄金の魔女のレクイエム。
The tale's title is Requiem of the Golden Witch.
ベアとの葬儀にふさわしい物語を紡ぎなさい。
Spin a tale fitting for Beato's funeral.
さて、どんな腹渡を引きずり出してくれるやら。
Well now, let's just see how you drag out the guts. She watched until the pair had left the chapel. Brincasil's form evaporated into the empty air, just as she had arrived. All that remained was her unpleasant cackling. Outside, it was still raining. When Cannon saw the guest and the successor approaching the reception desk, he bowed deeply.
ご苦労様です。
Good work.
休んで結構ですので、外してもらえますか？
You can take a break now, so would you mind leaving?
カノンです。
It's Cannon.
かしこまりました。
Yes, as you wish. Cannon bowed deeply, then disappeared.
下々の名前まではいちいち覚えていないってか。
Don't you remember the names of all your servants?
当家には若い使用人が大勢出入りしており、入れ替わりも頻繁ですので。
Our family has many young servants coming in and out, and they're usually replaced quite frequently.
さて、
Well now,
何をどう理解させてくれるのですか？
what are you trying to explain to me?
あなた様は何者で、当家にどのようなご用がおありで？
Who are you? And what business do you have with this family?
もちろん納得させてくれなくて構いません。
Of course, there's no need to convince me.
このままお帰りいただければいいだけですので。
Feel free to head on home if you want.
もう帰れねえのさ。
There's no going home.
俺も。
Not for me.
誰もな。
not for anyone.
もういい加減にしてくれませんか。
Could you please give that a rest?
そのよくわからない煙に巻くような喋り方は。
Stop speaking in confusing riddles like that all the time.
私にだって我慢の限界というものがあります。
Even I have limits to my patience.
私では見送りにならないというなら、源氏とゴーダにお送りさせてもいいのですよ。
If you don't want me to see you off, should I call Genji or Goda?
騒ぐな。
Don't freak out.
こいつを見てろ。
Look at this.
見ればわかります。
Yes, I can see that.
葬儀用のバラです。
It's one of the memorial roses.
まさか手品でも見せてくれるおつもりで。
Are you going to show me some kind of magic trick? I love how Leon's, like, quite sassy. Quite sassy. Will took one of the flower offerings, then showed it to Leon, as though pointing out that there's no mechanisms or tricks. Then, he slowly lifted it upwards.
見てろ。
Watch.
ええ、見てますよ。
Yes, I'm watching.
鳩でも飛び出すんですか？
Is a dove going to fly out of it?
それともクラッカーと万国旗にでも？
Or is it going to be flags and fireworks? Huh? Will threw the rose. Anyone would have expected to fly in an arc and land in some puddle. It didn't, which is why Leon had been struck dumb. The rose thrown by Will certainly had flown in an arc. Should have sped on rapidly through the air. However, as soon as it passed out from the shade of the eaves and was about to reach the rain, it stopped right in midair, as though the air surrounding it had turned into syrup. That wasn't all. As it hung in midair, the rose's beautiful golden petals began to darken one after another, and it became a black husk like burnt charcoal. And, even after this happened, it remained suspended there in the air.
これは何の手品ですか？
What sort of trick is this? Don't move! Leon moved closer to try and touch the remains of the rose, which still hung in the air. Will had roughly blocked the way with his arm. It was as though he was telling Leon that leaving this place meant certain death.
この礼拝堂が家系から切り離された。
This chapel has been cut off from the fragment.
この礼拝堂は今、濃縮された時間の渦に閉じ込められている。
We're currently locked in a concentrated loop of time.
それは
What
どういうことですか？
do you mean by that?
めんどくせえからはしょる。
Explaining is a pain, so I'll just give you the short version.
つまり、さっきの魔女のゲームに付き合わねえ限り、誰もここから出られねえ。
Basically, unless we play along with that witch's game, no one can leave this place.
なんですって？
What?
もう葬儀は終わっています。
The funeral is already over.
お屋敷やゲストハウスに戻りたい方々もいらっしゃるでしょ。
I'm sure some people will want to return to the mansion or the guest house.
こんなことは困ります。
We can't be locked up in here.
恨むならあの魔女を恨め。
If you got a bone to pick, that witch is the one you're looking for.
俺も帰れなくていい迷惑だ。
Being stuck in a place like this isn't any more pleasant for me.
あの少女はあなたの友人でしょ。
That girl's your friend, right?
この変なのをやめさせてください。
Make her stop all this weirdness.
あいつは今頃、ポップコーンのバケツでも抱いて観客席だろ。
She's probably sitting in a spectator seat with a bucket of popcorn about now.
呼んだって現れね
She won't come if we just call her.
わけがわからない。
What on earth is going on? That short sentence described all of Leon's feelings at that moment. However, Leon had seen the rose will through wither in an instant in the rainy darkness. Leon tried doing the same thing with another rose, but the effect was exactly the same. No one would want to use their own body to test this fearsome something that could make roses crumble instantly.
ここから解放される方法はただ一つ。
There's only one way for us to be released from here.
ベルンカステルのゲームに付き合うことだけだ。
We have to play along with Bern Castell's game.
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰か。
You mean the one about who killed Beatrice?
そいつを調べろと仰せだ。
That's what she's telling us to investigate.
お前がそれを聞かせてくれりゃ話は早い。
If you could fill me in, this will go more quickly.
気まぐれ魔女は大満足。
That fickle witch will be completely satisfied.
お前は厄介払いができて、 俺は帰ってダイアナとデートだ。
You'll be able to get rid of the two of us, and I have a date with Diana when I get back.
あまり待たせすぎるとまたソファーをズタボロにしちまうわ。
If I keep her waiting too long, she'll start tearing up the sofa again.
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰かなんて
Who killed Beatrice, you say?
葬儀に押しかけて遺族に聞くこととは思えませんね。
That's hardly something you should go barging into a funeral and asking the family about.
遺族に聞き込みはミステリーの基本だ。
Questioning the family is one of the basics of the mystery genre.
諦め
Just give up and accept it.
ベアトリーチェってのは当主金蔵の愛人だってのは分かってる。
I do know that Beatrice is the mistress of Kinzo, family head.
あなたは本当に不思議な人だ。
You really are a strange person.
どうしてそこまで当家のことをご存知なのですか？
How do you know so much about this family?
やはり当家に縁のある方なのでは？
Are you sure you have no connections with us? Will knew this much about the Ishimiya family, because Bernkastel had shown him all the fragments so far. Of course, he had no sort of connection with the Ishimiya family himself. The very plane of his existence was on a different level.
しかしベアトリーチェはだいぶ昔に死んでいる。
However, Beatrice died a long, long time ago.
現地の証言では屋敷の竣工前に死んでるってことになってるが。
According to Genji, she passed away before the mansion was completed.
死んだ理由は明らかじゃねえ。
But the reason for her death is unclear.
正直なところ殺されたってのは初耳だ。
To be honest, this is the first I've heard about her being killed.
聞かせてくれ。
Tell me about it.
私の名は後宮リオンと申します。
My name is Ishimiya Leon.
ウィラードだ。
Willard. Willard. Call me Will. Willard. The first time Will introduced himself. Their mutual introduction was finally complete, and Leon was finally able to talk with him on an even footing. However, Leon took a deep breath and looked up at the sky, wearing a vague smile.
ウィルさん。
Will, son.
ウィルでいい。
Call me Will.
俺もリオンと呼ぶ。
I'll call you Leon.
ウィル。
Will.
正直なところ、私にもベアトリーチェという人物のことがよくわからないのです。
To be honest, even I don't know much about this person called Beatrice.
なるほど。
I see.
一応ゲームにはなるわけか。
Because it's called a game for a reason. If only Leon could have told him everything, revealing the truth without any effort from Will. Apparently, things wouldn't be so easy after all.
ベアトリーチェの名と姿を後宮家に出入りする者で知らぬ者はないでしょう。
Everyone who enters the Ishimiya family knows the name and image of Beatrice.
大広間にでかい肖像画が飾ってあるからな。
That's because of the massive portrait hanging in the entrance hall, isn't it?
肖像画の掲示は1984年の4月だ。
That portrait was first displayed in April of 1984.
本当にあなたはどうしてそんなことまで。
Seriously, how is it that you know so much?
やれやれ。
Ah, well.
それを疑問に思うのももうやめることにします。
It's about time I stopped finding that odd.
どうせあなたにまた煙に巻かれるんですからね。
I'm sure it'll just start speaking in riddles again. Leon was a successor and lived in the head household. That made conversations with Kinzo an everyday occurrence. Because of this, Leon must have been used to chatting with people who were moody or hard to follow. With the understanding that getting stuck on the details would be nothing but a waste of time, conversation naturally fell into a pattern as though Leon and this unknown man Will were longtime friends.
誰もがベアトリーチェを知っている。
Everyone knows Beatrice.
なのに誰も知らない。
And yet, no one knows her.
会ったことがあるのは当主金蔵だけだ。
Kinzo's the only one who's ever met her.
当主様は今日は特にお心が不安定でいらっしゃいます。
The head seems to be particularly cranky today.
タイミングを見て私が紹介しますので、なるべく慎んだ態度でお願いしますよ、ウィルさん。
I'll introduce you to him when the chance presents itself. So I said you develop an appropriately discreet attitude, Wilson.
話が早いな。
That was quick.
てっきりもっと非協力的かと思ってたぜ。
I thought you'd resist a bit more than that.
長年当主様のお相手をしていると
I'm used to speaking with the family head.
大抵の理不尽な事態とはある種の諦めを持って接することができるようになりますので
I've learned to accept most unreasonable situations and just go with the flow. Frank still had set up a barrier, cutting the chapel off from the rest of the world. To destroy that, they would have to find out who killed Beatrice. For Leon, who had already experienced many of Kinzo's rantings, understanding this much was more than enough. Nice! Dun dun dun. I agree. I agree. So let's before we call it quits here on the night, let's lay out the bit of things. So we're following different people. We're now into episode 7. And Umineko is like, all right, here we go. It seems like we're gonna particularly be following Will and Leon, and their solving of the thing, assuming like getting us a lot of answers. Allegedly, we got Bernie as the game master. We've got what seems to be kind of like a different location as well that this is mostly taking place in, since it seems they're cut off from the normal setting. Although, who knows how long that'll stay, or if it will stay. And so, what? I assume it's just going to be... I mean, it seems reductive to say this, but is it just going to be a lot of Will and Leon questioning the Ishimiya family? Because that would be interesting. That will be interesting. Oh, I think this is just a chapel, but not entirely sure. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't 100% clear on, like, exactly what was being cut off where. Because, like, it seemed like they almost wanted to just kind of, like, go outside, and then it was like, oh, don't move, we're cut off, oh, God. But I may just be being a bit dramatic about that. But yeah, we'll call it there for the night. Good stuff. Good stuff. Finishing episode 6. Pat myself on the back. Beginning episode 7. Well, I'm calling it now. We're going to finish episode 7 here in the month of November. Set ourselves up for the, then episode 8 for the last month of the year. Thanks so much for joining so far, both on this stream and on this journey, as always, so far. Thank you so much. Being a willing participant in the journey with me through Umineko. As much as I kid around, I do appreciate any and all people hopefully enjoying this with me and not hopefully not hate watching. That would be weird. Turn it off. If you're hate watching, go away. Other than that, I hope you're enjoying with me as much as you can. Thanks for hanging out also for the stream-wise on this Halloween night. Hope you had a nice night. Hope you have a great rest of your week. I should be back on for a bit tomorrow night. Not Umineko, of course. Umineko will resume back Saturday night. I assume Saturday night? I'll have to double check. I'll double check before we get there. But I assume Saturday night is still happening, so. Have a nice rest of your night. Have a great Wednesday. Until another stream. Oh, yeah. And here's to a good November. We should say it like that. To a great November. Until next time.